Name: Alex Foster, level 9. No class or rank, health 300, strength 30, agility 20, intelligence 15, mana 200, stamina 15, wisdom 30, charisma 21. During the battle, high-level heroes say that they cannot allow newcomers to die. But Alex is not simple, and therefore destroys all hostile entities with the help of many swords. Some military men are shocked by this newcomer. His strength can clearly be compared to God. He indifferently says that he is indeed a newcomer, but he has been stuck in this day for 3,000 years. The hero remembers that he studied hard and studied surgery in order to personally perform the operation for his girlfriend. During this time, Alex learned many different skills. For example, flying an airplane, writing hacker programs against any systems. He also trained in a variety of surgeries, became a professional in chess, checkers, and other games, and became much stronger. The warrior girl shouts that they won't be able to handle it this time, as these monsters are surpassing the power of the C-rank world as they continue to fight. The main character protects the girl from hordes of monsters. She asks why he is doing this. He cuts the giant demon and thinks that after so much time and wasted effort, he is being stabbed in the back because he still cannot save his friends, but this time he will definitely change fate. He wakes up again at the beginning of the day and realizes that this time he will lead everyone to destroy the shadow and gain freedom. 5 years ago, a huge number of interdimensional portals suddenly appeared on Earth, later called gates, through which people could enter different levels of the world of shadows for the sake of adventure. Such people, called awakened ones, were chosen by the world of shadows. They had the opportunity to gain power, constantly risking their lives. A giant demon attacks the sorceress Jessica Walsh. She cannot fight off the attack, so she screams and cries. At the last moment, the swordswoman Maria Sparks appears. She cuts the demon and says that they will get out. Fighter Anya understands that with each kill there are only more enemies. But the heroes are already too tired, and because of this, the power of their attacks has seriously dropped. Warrior Patrick Livesey sighs, sweating, and realizes that it seems his wish to live to 70 is not destined to come true. Alex, in a safe sphere, asks to remove his shield and let him try to fight. Maria shouts that he entered this stage for the first time. He does not have the required level or skills. He says that every newcomer enters into battle for the first time one day. The heroes repeat several actions from the previous variation of this day. They attack many demons and shout that they cannot let the newcomer die before them. The huge paw of a gigantic monster presses the swordswoman to the ground, completely ignoring her sword with which she defends herself. Foster asks Jessica to remove the shield from him. She eventually agrees and uses a shield cancel spell to free the main character. The demon squeezes Maria in his hand. She understands that this is how it seems everything will end for her. Alex snatches the girl from the clutches of the monster. She does not believe that he could save her, because he still doesn't know how to do anything, but he says that now is not the time for questions. Foster throws a sword into the demon's neck and kills him with one blow. Everyone around is in shock. Patrick realizes that each of his blows hits the most vulnerable spot, and Anya asks if he really has the first level. At this very moment, the guy gains a new level, saying that he is no longer a rookie hero. He shouts that there is a lair of monsters nearby, they need to get out of here immediately, while simultaneously beating up the monsters. Livesey thinks that the newcomer sees the future. He already tells everyone to run to the car nearby. The swordswoman commands that no one should lag behind the newcomer if they want to live. Many monsters are chasing the heroes. She asks if he's really a beginner, but the guy ironically remarks that everyone with sight can see that he's only at the second level. She doesn't understand how he can know everything. She thinks that this is nonsense, and the guy notes to himself that he's been here for 3,000 years, and therefore he managed to learn. Alex cuts the monster and says that to be precise, he has been stuck here for 3,000 years. Tomorrow at 6 in the morning, when the sun rises, he will return to this place again, just when they were just transported to this world of shadows. The girl says that she does not believe him, because if this is the case, then it is unclear why he is trying to save them. Foster remarks that he is protecting them because she has tried to protect him for the past 3,000 years. Time after time, she died to save him. Therefore, no matter how many times he is reborn, he is obliged to return her safe and sound every time, because this is also his support and salvation over many years of rebirth. She says that of course she was touched by her words. She still doesn't believe him. He must be a master flirt. And Livesey and Jessica are embarrassed in the background. Walsh asks if he's tired of fighting non-stop for 3,000 years, and he says that's why he hasn't sat idly by all this time. He studied all the possible class changes, all the skills and hidden elements that are available in the Shadow World system. He also collected information about the remaining worlds of shadows from awakened people who entered this world. The swordswoman notices that he says that it is the second system of the world of shadows. He says that it may well be it. He says that from now on they must go forward along the overpass and not stop, no matter what happens. The girl asks if they are going to split up, but Alex pats her on the head and says that they won't split up until everyone gets out of here alive. The guy jumps down from the bridge into the destroyed city, moving further and further away from his friends. Downstairs, gunsmith Elizabeth Clark fights monsters. She realizes that there are only more of them every minute. She understands that she has run out of ammunition, and therefore it seems her life will end here. Alex appears and defends the girl. She asks why he is helping her. He says without emotion that she needs to take the elevator down to the 13th floor. Open safe 1302, there will be the ammunition she needs, and the password is Orsio Forsorm. The girl is confused, they don't have time. The guy pushes her into the elevator and calls him to the desired floor, and he leaves the battlefield saying that he is helping her because they are comrades. Foster notices that 1 minute and 6 seconds have passed. After 30 years of fighting, he finally made it 1 second faster. A huge horde of demons chases the heroes along the highway to wipe them off the face of the earth. The squad runs along the highway and wonders if that guy deceived them, because they arrived in some strange tunnel. Someone shouts that they might fall into a trap, but Stark says there is no choice but to trust Alex. Then they notice the guy himself at the end of the tunnel. They think that he got here by some shortcut. Foster asks them to run further. He will figure everything out himself. The squad listens to him and does not stop. In front of Alex are thousands of monsters that are flying at him from all sides. The guy has some kind of remote control in his hands. The main character apologizes to the monsters and says that they can't get further. He presses the button. Everything around explodes. The squad is shocked by the guy. He runs after them and shouts for them not to slow down and turn around. The entire tunnel explodes, killing all the monsters inside, their corpses flying into the air with terrible force. At the exit from it, the squad stops. Alex asks them not to worry, since the range of the bomb was calculated to be up to a meter. All the monsters inside were destroyed. The tunnel is closed. Now they can move on. The squad stands in shock. Foster, with a smug face, tells them that they've stopped standing around with their mouths open. It's time to go. The 5 of them stand and look at the city. Alex is told that they are now safe. He asks the others if they now believe him. Maria says that he may be good for a newbie, but he still can't believe that he lived for so many years in one day. And Anya thinks that bombs and maps of the city are not so difficult to get, so his story is not convincing yet. Jessica wonders what Alex has been doing for 3,000 years. Besides fighting, because this is such a long time, he reports that he has learned a variety of skills during this time. Fighter Anya says that the city of Dark Ruins is huge. Now there must be a lot of awakened people here, she asks the guy. If he knows anyone else here, he replies that over the years he has learned all the local awakened ones, as well as their secrets. But among them, only 7 people were ready to die with him side by side. The little sorceress notices that there are only 4 of them here and asks where the others are. And the swordswoman asks her not to believe in all this nonsense because it is unrealistic to live the same day for 3,000 years. Foster, lowering his head, says that he would like the girl to be right, and this would indeed be impossible. Then the guy says that they need to separate again. Maria notices that the guy is just a liar, since he himself said that the time rewinds only at sunset. Alex is tired of explaining himself to the girl. He says that, in any case, before the next cycle, he will have time to send them home. Walsh notices some creaking and sees that the cable car is working again. She asks Foster how this happened. The guy jumps into the car and says that he wasn't lying when he said that he learned programming to control the cable car. He just had to hack the city's electrical system. Near the Ferris wheel, the boss of the city of Dark Ruins, a giant with steel wings, throws people in uniform and body armor towards him. They try to shoot at him, but he is so much larger than them that with one swing he sweeps them all away, and even puts one person in his mouth and begins to chew. The officers standing on the side understand that they cannot cope, the intelligence was wrong, and they urgently need to retreat. Then they notice a man flying rapidly in the air with a furious expression on his face. Alex lands right in front of the head of officers who, seeing a level 5 newcomer in front of him, shouts that it's too dangerous here. Let him get out quickly. Foster turns around, raises his hand and walks towards the huge monster, saying that he has come here to end this battle. The boss of the city of Dark Ruins laughs at the self-confident guy, extends his hand to him. The officers notice that the poor guy is finished. Alex, not paying attention to the voices, cuts off the fingers from the monster's huge hand. The officers are shocked. The monster looks in surprise at his hand, which is missing 2 fingers. Foster notices for those around him that the most vulnerable parts of the giant with steel wings are his little finger and the ring finger of his left hand. After such a wound, the monster goes into the second stage. Its tentacles bloom. This stage is much more powerful, but Alex deftly dodges the monster's blows. The head of officer's glasses even fall off from shock. He doesn't understand how a guy can have such developed intuition. He dodges all attacks. Foster easily dodges the attacks and tells the officers that the monster should not be allowed to enter its third stage of steel wings. Since then, it will be able to freely create attacking vacuums, and then all living things in the area will only die. Alex plunges his sword into the giant's shoulder, moves in a circle and cuts off the monster's entire arm. Foster, shouting that when the boss is at his most vulnerable, he reveals his control core, rushes with his sword at the monster's head. The guy opens the giant's skull and thrusts his sword into the main mechanism, destroying the monster. The body of the boss of the City of Dark Ruins explodes. Alex, lowering his sword with a calm, confident gait, walks away from the struck enemy. All the officers stand in amazement, calling the guy not a newbie, but God, not understanding how he single-handedly dealt with a giant with steel wings. A red fireball similar to the sun appears in front of Foster. Alex approaches it. His level rises to 9. A mechanical egg appears from the ball, from which a giant with steel wings can appear. It has a chance of falling out of 1 in 100,000. Foster takes it in his hands and regrets that this time it will disappear too. The final boss of the City of Dark Ruins is destroyed. The task is completed. All awakened ones will be teleported back within 1 minute. The squad watches the outbreak from afar and discusses Foster's actions. They decide that they will find out when they escape from the world of shadows, and if upon their return they never meet him again, then he was telling the truth. Alex stands with an egg in his hands, surrounded by officers. Every time he reaches 6 o'clock in the morning or after defeating the main boss, he starts all over again. Foster is getting ready to start a new cycle. He is very upset. He closes his eyes and just waits. A flash occurs. He wakes up in bed, suddenly opens his eyes and does not understand where he is, looks at the date on his phone, 1523, November 12th, 2065. The guy looks out the window, waves his arms, screams with joy that he was finally able to return home. Alex was finally able to get rid of endless days filled with battles, and he also had the 9th level on the scoreboard. Foster notices an egg on the table. He doesn't understand how it got here. On the digital display, this item has a rare rank, and next to the fetal development parameter, there are 3 questions. Alex is glad that he now has the egg. And even despite these questions, he still knows 7 ways to raise a giant with wings of steel. Then someone knocks on the door of his room. It turns out to be Sarah, Alex's sister. She is surprised to see her brother and asks when he managed to return. The girl is very unhappy. She was worried all day yesterday, called him, and even almost went to the police. Foster rushes at his sister and hugs her tightly, saying that he missed her very much. The girl is shocked because they have not seen each other for just a day. She is embarrassed. She asks to let her go. Alex asks Sarah to wait a little and let him hug her a little more. The guy thinks about how long he hasn't seen his sister. The girl pulls away from the guy, makes an angry face and asks her brother where he was yesterday. Alex, sweating profusely, reports that there were problems at work and his phone was dead. He asks his sister not to be so angry, takes out his phone, says that he has received a salary and is ready to immediately buy her a set of tools that she so wanted. Sarah immediately becomes very friendly, quickly forgives her brother and says that she will go cook lunch for the two of them. Alex asks for marbled beefsteak, wine and lobster. The girl gets angry and says that he will eat what she cooks without comment. Foster remembers sitting next to his sister's hospital bed. They had lost their parents in an accident, and she had lost the ability to walk. But she promised to always help him no matter what. The guy then promised that despite the doctor's words, he would still get her back on her feet. Alex leaves the room after his sister and tells her that he has recently studied medicine and surgery, calls her for an operation. Sarah takes this as a joke and asks the guy not to interfere with her preparing dinner. Foster hears people on TV saying that many have already heard that 5 years ago, many spatial rift gates appeared, which noticeably changed the whole world. The world of shadows has chosen some people who began their adventures in another world. These are the awakened ones who risk their lives to change their fate. People who have received supernatural abilities and even special classes, but they cannot escape their own fate. Usually the awakened ones have a choice in which world to be in. But, periodically, some of them are sucked into unknown and dangerous worlds. According to rumors, all the shadow worlds will disappear only after the divine rank shadow world is cleared out. The leader of the Ark Alston Guild appears on the screen, ranking number 1 in the world. Alston, the strongest awakened in the world, also known as the Guardian of Hope, an awakened legend who has cleansed many shadow worlds. After Alex hears that this man is called the representative of justice and honor, he jumps from his seat. Foster knows that this man is not who he says he is. In fact, he is a demon. In Alex's cycle, Alston repeatedly sought and absorbed the life force of other awakened ones in order to heal, eventually killing everyone himself, including Foster. The guy is sure that this man's true goal is to use his image to control the world and become God. Foster decides that he needs to avoid Alston until he becomes strong enough to go on equal terms with him. He needs his own guild. According to the scientist Alex met in the Shadow World, the next Shadow World that the Awakened Ones will be transported to will be a catastrophic rank Shadow World, and Foster is obliged to save all his friends there. The guy's thoughts are interrupted by Sarah, who, driving into the room in a wheelchair, informs him that the food is ready and calls him to eat. In the center for helping the Awakened, people look at Alston on the big screen. They think that the Ark is a very cool guild. Everyone dreams of getting into it, and they don't understand why someone creates other guilds. Foster stands in front of the window. The girl asks him if he really wants to create his own guild. He answers that yes, and has already even filled out the online application form. People around him pay attention to Alex, considering him crazy. Someone notices that most guild creators are at least level 50. The girl in the window asks the guy to provide an A-rank item as collateral. Onlookers laugh, believing that such a fool would not even have a D-rank item. Alex, not paying attention to the people behind him, says that he does not have such an item, but he has something else and shows the egg. The egg turns out to be a special C-rank treasure. Everyone around cannot believe that this newcomer has such an item. Foster asks to store the egg in a place with a negative temperature and asks if he can now continue with the registration. The girl warns Alex that if less than 3 people join his guild within 36 hours, the registration will be cancelled and the deposit will remain with them. The guy remembers his squad, which he led through the tunnel. He is sure that he can convince them to join the guild. In London, Maria Sparks trains at the Martial Arts Center. She is clearly superior to her fellow club members. She receives a message from Foster. She immediately remembers that this is the guy who has lived one day for 3,000 years, and also realizes that he was lying. Anya is sitting in the office where she is the president and scolding her subordinate. When a message also arrives on her phone, she finds out who it is from and decides that she is not interested. Patrick Livesey is riding in a car carrying equipment from the Shadow World when his phone makes a sound. At first, he thinks it's some kind of spam, but then he sees a message about an invitation to the guild from Foster. He clicks the decline button. Jessica Walsh receives the same invitation as her friends. She responds with a message in which she tells her older brother that lying is bad. Alex is not very upset when he sees the instant refusals of all members of the squad. He decides to deal with 3 other people for now. Some people support older sister Charlotte, who was able to put down some group. The girl stands with her foot on the man, pinning him to the ground, and asks him why he is so cool. Charlotte tells some man, who is dripping with sweat, that even though her friends are small fry, she will not allow them to be hurt. The guy takes out a weapon and, shouting, "Die, creature!" shoots at the girl, but she does not pay attention to the bullets, inflates her chewing bubble. Then, with one wave of her hand, she turns the bullets around and sends them back at the guy. Charlotte tells the man that her people did not take their goods, and if they start to bother them again, she herself will destroy all the enemies. Her people praise her older sister, saying that all mercenaries are just dust compared to her. The girl is pleased with the compliments. Then Foster appears behind them, who sarcastically points out that these guys are in trouble again. They all turn around sharply and ask the guy who he is, and he replies that he is the one who invites them to the Dawn Guild. Charlotte approaches Alex and says that she herself is a little crazy, but she would never have thought that there was such a crazy newbie of the 9th level. She also notes that she likes his madness, but she doesn't have time to play with children. 2 guys come forward and say that Alex is an empty place even for them, and if he wants to invite their big sister to a lame guild, then he must first show his strength. Foster, without hesitation for a long time, delivers a blow that takes the guys to the other end of the alley and scatters all the lying corpses. Charlotte, with a scared face, says that all the newbies have the straight punch skill, but she doesn't understand why this guy has it so strong. Alex says that even the most basic skills can be destructive if used correctly, just by practicing them a million times. The girl throws all the garbage around into the air, telling the guy that she doesn't like him. He's too strange. Foster stops Charlotte's attack, saying that she is moving too slowly, and he gets behind her and puts a sword to her neck. Charlotte notices that the guy acted dishonestly, sneaking up from behind. Then he suggests organizing a small competition in the girl's strong point, telekinesis. Foster places the tin cans and voices simple conditions. Whoever knocks them down the most wins. If Charlotte wins, then he is ready to become her subordinate, and if he does, then she must join his guild. Charlotte turns on her ability, and the guys stand behind her and ask her to show this upstart who's boss. The girl knocks down 5 cans that were closer to her. Her guys are happy with the result, believing that Alex won't knock down even 2. Foster knocks down all the cans with 1 punch, leaving the audience in shock. Charlotte doesn't understand where this guy gets so much strength, and he only notes that he has already said that everything depends on how to use the skill, and also says that the girl has lost and she will have to join the guild. The girl accepts defeat. An agreement is an agreement, and now she is his subordinate. He says that it would be better for him to teach her these terrible blows. Alex looks sideways at the girl and promises to make her the queen of telekinesis. He turns and walks away, raising his hand in farewell and saying, "Welcome to the Dawn Guild." Foster returns home and does not find his sister there, and is already beginning to worry when he notices dinner on the table, and a note that says that Sarah went to the store to help her uncle. Reading the note, the guy is touched. He notices that his sister always goes to help others and is growing up too quickly. Alex is sitting, eating, when he receives a message from gunsmith Elizabeth Clark. The guy is surprised that the girl just joined the Newcomers Guild and didn't even ask anything. She says that she just wanted to thank him for saving him, but since she has a lot to do, she will soon leave. Foster replies that she doesn't have to be an assassin all her life. She believes that he knows too much about her, and asks him not to write to her on irrelevant matters. Alex says he won't let her rot in the dark. He swears he'll get Elizabeth out of there. The guy realizes that only 2 people have joined his guild, and there are only 4 hours left. Foster chooses a 3rd person. On the road at night in the rain, 3 guys beat up the 4th, calling him a moron, since they robbed him and beat him. But he doesn't give back. The guy, writhing in pain and lying on the asphalt, thinks that he cannot give them back, since he is awakened, and they are ordinary people. The bandits don't like the guy just lying around. They get bored. They want to take him to the black market and at least make money on his organs. Michael Kepler, who is lying on the road, feels a beast awakening in him. He asks him not to go out, saying that these people cannot be attacked. But it is too late. The robbers see this huge black monster and decide to flee, but the beast does not allow them to leave. Thundering everything around, a black monster that looks like a huge fox grabs people and simply eats them. Michael, crumpled on the wet asphalt, cries and wonders why all this is happening. People on the street are screaming in fear. Some girl asks to stop this maddened fox. Her boyfriend speaks, awakened, says that he is a beginner of level 16 without a class, and this beast will simply devour him. Then Alex appears near a huge fox on a lamppost. The animal smells him. Foster rushes at the monster. The girl tells her boyfriend that the savior has come, and he understands that this is just a 9th-level beginner. Alex professionally dodges all the fox's attacks, and onlookers are shocked by his skills. The guy knows that the nightmare fox is a serious opponent, and if he had not trained against it in countless attempts, he would not have been able to cope now. He also remembers that over time it becomes stronger, so he needs to finish it off faster. He deflects her huge clawed paw with his sword, then runs and calls for her to follow him. Michael watches this battle in tears. He shouts to the guy to run faster because the nightmare fox will kill him in a second. Foster grabs poor Kepler while running and runs with him in his arms, and then suddenly stops and lifts the guy up. The beast comes close to its owner, begins to dissolve and plunges back into Michael's body. Kepler is glad that the fox recognized him, but Alex is in a hurry to upset him, telling him that he is mistaken and the fox did not attack him, since he himself is a nightmare beast. Foster recalls that the nightmare fox first appeared in the shadow world when Michael was attacked, and he, as a first-class recruit, was able to summon it. So since then, it has appeared from his body whenever he is in danger. Alex tells the boy that he is not just a person, but an awakened one who appears alone in tens of thousands. He has a strong ability that must be controlled. Otherwise, today's cases will repeat. One day, Michael will be able to destroy an entire city because he is a strong guy who takes everything upon himself. Foster pats the boy, daringly asks whether the 9th-level guy is really ready for this. The carrier of the 24th level ability is fine, but the guy is too weak. The girl says that this weakling is her boss, so if he can't go, then she won't go either. The man wonders if he understood correctly that the awakened level 24 views the level 9 newcomer as her boss. He thinks that this boy must be her boyfriend, and not the boss. She just doesn't want him to lose face. The man waves his hands dismissively and says that all the seats are taken with them, so they should be ready to depart in 5 minutes. The girl asks if another child was supposed to join them for training, but Alex says that he had extra classes so he won't be there. Charlotte wonders if there are still people who take extra classes when our world becomes more dangerous due to the influence of the shadows. She asks why the boss decided to invite them to his guild, but he says that he did it because the next forced movement will occur in a disaster-ranked world, and if they are all in the same guild, then they will be sent to the same world shadows. Thanks to this, he can ensure that everyone survives. The girl, in slight confusion, asks how the boss plans to protect the 7 of them. If he is only level 9, because in the world of shadows at the level of disaster, he will not be able to protect himself, he says that she will soon find out everything. Those who pass through the portal appear on the edge of a cliff, which is covered with snow, and extensive precipitation is also observed. This is a D-rank shadow world, a gray, snowy plain. Charlotte complains about the weather conditions, says that if she had known, she would have put on more clothes. The man asks if anyone has already been to this world. The girl says that she doubts it, because this world of shadows should be rare with a very small number of resources, since this world is of the same level. Then you just need to find and kill elite monsters in order to come back. The girl notices a bright turquoise butterfly and reaches out to it with words praising its beauty. At the moment of contact, the girl's hand is covered with ice and her hand cracks and falls apart. Everyone is in shock. One of the heroes destroys the butterfly with the help of his staff. The bald man says that these things are very dangerous. You need to be extremely careful when you are here. At this very moment, many butterflies appear around, which completely frees several people with the help of their powers. Alex says that these lowland butterflies are attracted by the warmth of their bodies, and if they stay here any longer, they will encounter a whole sea of such insects. Everyone runs away despite the fact that our hero remains here, so they choose to run away, ignoring the bearer of the 24th level ability. The girl wonders why she and the boss don't leave, and then assumes that it must be because there are treasures here, and they deliberately scared off the others. Charlotte understands that these creatures are here for her training. She asks if the guy is completely out of his mind, because she can deal with one wave at most. He also says that the girl can only use an explosion of mental force to attack, so she needs to direct each attack at just one butterfly, but she is indignant, saying that this is simply impossible. Alex fires multiple energy beams from his hands, destroying many butterflies. The girl says that she would never have believed it. If she had not seen it with her own eyes, she would never have believed it. An entry-level skill? Can the spiritual gap of the mind really be used in this way? While the butterflies in the area explode from his attack, the guy says that the girl needs to focus, first, on compressing the force of her explosion, and with her talents, she should be able to reduce each projectile to the size of a grain. With each stage of compression, the control will become better, thanks to which she will become stronger. Then she will need to learn to control the trajectory along which she shoots, and do not forget about the angle and speed. She tries to concentrate and says that it's easy for him to say, does he really think she's as crazy as he is? Alex says that to complete the training, she needs to kill 2,000 butterflies one at a time. If she kills 2 at once, then 2 will be added to the task. Now her goal is 2,001 butterflies. He jumps onto a tree branch and says that he will rest there for now and let her train diligently and not shirk. She screams that he should stop bullying her, and then wonders if she can really handle such a huge number of these creatures. Then the girl runs from the insects and asks the boss to get out of here, but he is still sleeping. Then he throws some kind of potion and tells her to drink it. The girl holds a purple vial and wonders why it might be needed. She asks if it's an invisibility potion, but he says that it's just an F-rank heat resistance potion, but it also prevents the loss of body heat, which is why she won't attract butterflies while training. She asks if he had this potion with him, then he already knew that they would end up here. He just says that she can ask questions, but she can't stop training. The girl concentrates and prepares for a new concentrated attack, and asks that the Shadow Gate only shows the rank of the shadow world behind it, and the place cannot be recognized even by an awakened person. And he says that he can find out because he is 99% equal to the system of the world of shadows. If she had to live in the world of shadows for 3,000 years, then she too would be able to understand what was behind the gates, using some clues, laws, and calculations. She says that she has a bad memory, so it wouldn't make sense even if she was given 10,000 years. And besides, she doesn't believe that he stayed here for 3,000 years. She makes a displeased face and tells the boss to add 6 more butterflies to the task. At this moment, while the other heroes were running from the butterflies, they lost many of their people who now became ice. One of the bottom is interested in why there is such a high mortality rate among heroes in the D-rank world. The bald one says that most of the monsters in this world have the attribute of cold, which is why they are stronger. Then many giant red mantises appear, they attack, and the man says that they are approaching again. Inspired heroes rush at the crowd of giant arthropods, but they deal with many people without any problems. Then an even larger mantis appears, and the bald man realizes that this is an elite void ripper, and they are doomed. Charlotte jumps up and shouts out what she did. She wonders if the boss saw it, but he is not in his original place. She notices that her boss has left. The girl understands that he had another reason to get into this world of shadows. The head of the squad and the girl try to defend themselves from the mantises, but they surround them. The man rushes to attack with a sword, but the Void Ripper kills him with its claw, leaving the girl alone. The praying mantis is already raising its claw over her when Alex appears and chops off the Ripper's paw. Foster cuts one mantis after another into pieces. The Rippers do not have time to do anything. The girl watches the guys battle in tears and remembers that this is the same newcomer with the 9th level. Alex cuts off the head of the last red mantis. The girl thanks him. He replies that he saved her by accident, and he needs to go do other things. The main character approaches the cliff and throws the head of a praying mantis there. The girl stands behind him and asks what he is doing, and he replies that he is setting bait. A huge centipede crawls out of the abyss. The girl is shocked that the guy summoned the final boss so quickly. The world boss, born in the ice, a giant centipede, breaks out from under the ice right next to Foster. At the same moment, a second monster of the same type crawls behind it. Two boss monsters stand in front of them at their full length. The girl is afraid and does not understand what to do. The guy orders her to quickly get out of here. One of the giant centipedes spits ice at Alex, but he calmly breaks it with his sword. The guy jumps, dodges the monster's attacks, and then plunges his sword into one of the centipedes. Both bosses fall. One centipede lies motionless. The second begins to move, breaking the stones under it. The girl notices that they cannot inflict any damage on Alex. She begins to think that he is an awakened one of divine rank. Under the weight of these giant monsters, the rock collapses and the centipedes fall back into the abyss from where they crawled out. Foster flies with them. The guy doesn't learn how to split the monster's shell. He begins to ride along with the sword, leaving a long furrow on the centipede's body. Then he suddenly changes direction and saws the boss in half. Before they could fall down, the giant centipedes are dead. For victory, Alex receives a B-rank item, an ice blade. This weapon has a chance to inflict a frostbite effect that will slow down the enemy after being hit. Foster is very happy that he finally received a decent weapon, which is not inferior to the A rank. The boss of the gray icy lands was defeated. The exit from the dungeon opens. The girl is in shock. She thought that this newcomer would die, but he managed to defeat the boss alone. Charlotte sees a beam going into the sky. She understands that the location has been passed. The girl does not understand how so quickly because there are still 15 butterflies left. 3 people emerge from the gate. The people who were waiting for the winners are shocked that only they survived. Charlotte gets angry, tells Alex that a little more and she could finish the test. The guy calms the girl down. He is sure that when she gets into the world of shadows next time, she will be much stronger. The girl hopes that they will now go to another world of shadows, but Foster tells her that he will take a break for 2 days. Besides, he has something else to take care of. In Anya's office, her subordinate is trying to justify himself for the failed deal so that she doesn't fire him. He says that this way she will discredit the reputation of the previous president, for whom he worked for 30 years. The current president of the company, Miss Anya, is very unhappy with this. She believes that this person is trying to threaten her with the reputation of the company. The subordinate is again trying to justify himself. The girl turns to the man and tells him that she found out that the investment funds they used to trade biologics in February of this year and purchase securities last September were dishonest. She says that she is too lazy to look at how much money was embezzled and is going to just give this case to the police. The subordinate begins to apologize, says that he simply made a mistake. He asks to be forgiven in the name of the previous president. Anya believes that she can forgive him, but he will have to return all the stolen money and turn over all the shares. Then, perhaps, in the name of his father, she can provide him with a free place in the company's nursing home until he passes from this world. Another subordinate approaches the president, who reports that the guy who continued to insist that he is her comrade has finally left. She suggests calling the police to arrest him. Anya says that there is no need. This guy is just a pervert, and nothing will do. He will take care of it herself. Miss Anya drinks coffee and goes to the window. On the sidewalk, she sees a guy she knows. Foster notices her and begins to wave his hand intensively. The guy writes a message to the girl, wondering if she's watching him. He jokes about her black outfit. The girl calls the guy a pervert and blocks him on the phone. He is upset that he failed again. Foster sends a few more text messages. Patrick and Jessica refuse to talk, citing business. He realizes that all these people are in different parts of the world, and no one wants to see him. There are only 10 days until the great disaster. Alex is thinking about how he can get them to join to his guild. 4 figures are moving along a dark highway, led by the tall, stately Foster. Elizabeth tells the guy that she is only a nominal member of the guild and does not need to join official events. Alex reveals that he has already placed the A-rank mission she wanted. According to the assassin's rules, she is required to go with them. The girl asks to explain why he brought them there so late at night. Foster replies that they came to a military base for training. Charlotte wonders why there are 3 of them when there should be 7. He replies that perhaps the rest are on the way. Michael wonders why there are no people at the base. Alex explains that he hacked into the main system of this place and made sure that no one would disturb them. Alex remembers how he hacked into the system to get rid of all the personnel using a gas leak message, because of which the zone would be quarantined for 15 days. He says that now this complex is something like their playground. Charlotte is very happy and says that she is absolutely sure that there is nothing that the boss cannot handle. The guy says that he already told her that he was stuck in this place for a long time. If he had not studied something new, he would have lost his mind. Foster, without any problems, carries out his own authorization to enter the depths of the complex. The guy shouts out his hopes that his people are ready for special training. Alex leads his guild into the astronaut training facilities. Charlotte wonders if they are going to go to Mars to fight the Martians. The boss replies that she is thinking too much. He just wants to use this equipment to train them. Elizabeth says that she is not interested in training astronauts. She does not want to waste time and effort on participating in it. The girl makes several attempts and literally begs Alex to give her another chance. She will be able to cope with the after which he will send her for another try. The girl asks that these simulations aren't fixed, to which he says that this is true. But if he changes the code a little, he can make small changes to the simulation. They wonder who he is. A simple hacker is unlikely to be capable of such a thing. Alex says he spent decades studying spacecraft design and space ecology, although she considers it an unusual hobby he took up to kill time. Charlotte gets out of the simulation and screams that it was damn fun. No gravity, spinning, obstacles, and adrenaline. Just amazing. Foster says he didn't bring them here to play games. She chose a more stimulating mode to train her mental potential. Alex asks if the boy is okay. Because he is breathing heavily, he can't die here. He says that he is completely fine. Survival mode involves constantly dodging incoming asteroids. This is ideal for training mental strength, which is best suited for mediums. On the other hand, attack mode requires you to focus on shooting at as many targets as possible, which is ideal for training concentration. The guy finishes his monologue and runs a simulation for each member of his team. The joint mode brings concentration and mental state to the limit. This will be very useful for their control over their abilities. The main thing is not to forget to breathe. After training, the squad is exhausted. The girls are resting on the floor, and the guy says that he has already puked so many times that he has lost count. Alex says that they need to go to their places. If they are done whining, then they should get up and go back to their places because the next round begins. Michael says that he will try. Charlotte wonders if their boss is a demon. Elizabeth looks into Alex's face without trust. The guy says that if you compare him and the world of shadows of the catastrophic level that they will soon encounter, then he is still extremely generous. A week later, members of Alex's guild are in some capsules filled with water with a bluish glow. Clark is the first to leave the capsule. The guy says that she recovered very quickly. First, we need to go and check the result of her training. A training battle begins. The girl effectively shoots the robotic combat units before they have time to reach her. The robots are getting even faster, but she is pleased to note that she still finds them easy to handle. Statistics after a training battle say that target accuracy is increased by 35%, its speed is increased by 40%, effective range is increased by 42%. And Alex says that this is not bad, but still needs to work on recoil control and trigger pull speed. Charlotte is tested in the gravity room, fighting the balls with ease. She uses a telepathic barrier and asks that all the balls that are available be directed at her so that it won't be so easy for her. The guy decides that if she copes with 6 balls easily, then it's time to direct all 40 balls that are in the arsenal at her. The girl thinks that now there will be nothing left of her, but the guy says that she just needs to concentrate all her power and release it at once. The girl uses the psi field. Now even so many balls are not a hindrance to her. She feels inspired and full of strength. She says that it's time for them to take over the planet with such powers. He thinks that he did not expect anything else from the future Queen of Telekinesis. She will be his ace in the hole. Michael's inner beast conquers the obstacle room using his newly acquired skills. The boy stands at a distance and controls the fox with his thoughts. The inner beast does not have time to dodge the obstacle, sending its owner into the abyss of self-flagellation. Alex calms the boy down, saying that before he could only control the fox for 7 seconds, but now he can control it for 3 whole minutes. Michael believes that 3 minutes is still not enough, but the boss tells him to calm down, since, given the strength of his beast, 3 seconds would be enough to destroy the enemy. The head of the guild thanks everyone for their diligent efforts. Training is over for today. Now they can rest. Charlotte is happy that she can finally fight with real people. Elizabeth is thinking about something of her own, and the boy realizes that he still needs to do his homework. After 3 days, they will all be teleported to the world of shadows of a catastrophic level. Now he is level 13. This is not enough. He needs to train and develop as much as possible over the next 72 hours. Sarah calls Alex in a rage and says that she will never again ask him to cover for him at work, which he did last night. Not only that, he even repaired equipment that was completely broken. It's unclear why he even decided to fix other people's cars in the middle of the night. It's completely incredible that he took on an advanced exoskeleton. He shouldn't be able to do that. He also made acupuncture clients, where he even learned this technique from. The guy says that he simply had nothing to do, so he decided. The girl says that he is a scoundrel, since she should have been the best employee of the store, even if he doesn't even think about returning there. The guy says he just wanted to make her job easier. The girl hangs up and he thinks it would be better if she thanked him. Jessica writes that he promised to do her homework for her today. He says that he will come to her and do her homework while clearing the world of shadows. An empty city, an S-rank world of shadows. Alex wonders if the girl really doesn't care about how he knows about the extremely rare secret gate to the world of shadows and how he found this portal right next to her house. The girl says that now she only needs help with homework. She doesn't care about the rest. The guy says to start his homework and he fills himself with energy to fight off the attackers. Suddenly, a werewolf emerges from the attacking man and runs towards Alex, about to attack. The guy uses the Ice Strike ability on the werewolf, immediately defeating him. Alex asks the girl to give him silver attack boosts and divine blessing to fight against werewolves. The girl uses her skill and wonders if he can handle them. He says that it's just trifles. Foster takes and shreds all the werewolves with one chain of attacks, gaining a new level 14. With the help of these enhancements, he not only became stronger, but also managed to very quickly raise 2 levels at once. He receives 5 times more experience after killing a werewolf, and the 2 enhancements that he asked for are needed for the fight against werewolves. The girl says that he deceived her again, took her with him to quickly clear the world of shadows. He's not even going to help her with her homework. Alex says she's right and she's really helping him with the cleanup, but he really wants to help her with her homework. She asks about some problem from her work in chemistry and asks for help in solving it. He says that this is a very simple problem. Let her try to solve it herself, because only by solving problems on their own do they become stronger. Jessica says that he is a liar. He asks to update the spells on him. She says that the monsters are over, it is useless. But Alex says that they are going to the next part. The girl renews her blessings again and screams that he is treating her like some kind of toy. The guy says that they are there. In the ravine, there are many dark wizards with strong magic. Jessica is afraid that he will not cope, but the guy assures her that this is not a problem. And besides, he will gain more experience from skeleton magicians than from werewolves. Then he will be able to get closer to his plan. Alex says that he needs level 21. The girl says that then they need to hang around for a week. But the guy says that he only has 24 hours. She doesn't understand how he plans to make it in such a modest period of time. The guy says that now he needs 3 boosts, a divine blessing, a holy attack, and a lightning step, while the girl imitates Alex about his homework. Jessica says that she hasn't been able to solve the problem for a week. Let him help her. He says that then he will answer her briefly. The guy crashes into crowds of enemies, easily scattering skeletons who are just about to strike. She says that he is a liar and did not answer her. He tells her to look at the other side of the rock. The girl sees a magic square. Inside it, the formula necessary for her task is written. She screams, "What the hell? He's completely crazy." Sweat is pouring from her face. Her eyes are almost rolling out of their sockets in surprise. There are a bunch of skeletons lying around. Alex gets level 17 after this battle. The guy says that it's time for them to go to another place. Because it has become difficult to gain levels here, the girl says that this will not change anything, because only the boss remains. Even if he kills him, he is still far from level 21. Alex says that he has his own methods, and the girl needs to use more enhancements, just like last time. She says that she is here to do homework and not to serve him. Guillotine Gorge, a guy helps a girl with her homework and she asks why he helps her so much if he was going to look for the boss. Alex and Jessica hide behind the coffin. The boss says that he is coming, so they need to be silent. The world boss Dullahan appears. He is clad in armor, and in place of his head a violet flame is blazing. The guy says that he now needs 6 power-ups, and the girl says that this is the legendary Headless Horseman on a horse. She wearily applies her last buffs, but Alex says that in the future he will repay her 1,000 times more. The girl says that she won't believe him now, but warns that even with 100 boosts he would still be no match for the Dullahan. If the boss even touches the guy once, he will die. He asks not to worry about him, but to do his homework and ask if something is not clear. The Dullahan says that the souls of the trespassers will remain here and starts his horse towards his opponents. The boss surrounds himself with a magical shield. Even the main character cannot break through the protection. The girl looks and realizes that Mr. Big Liar's level is too low to break through such a shield. Can they really win? The guy teases the legendary enemy, saying that he can't even reach him. Dullahan throws Alex away, but he tells the girl to just do her business and not worry about him. The girl says that he also cannot break through the shield. If Foster continues in the same spirit, he himself will suffer. He says that's why he took Jessica with him. She says that he finally discovered that he really is Mr. Big Fat Liar. Alex provokes Dullahan to attack, and as a result of his jerk, he gets stuck in a crevice between the rocks. The girl says that the guy really knows how to be mean when he wants to be. She uses a fire attack and says that if Alex does not appease her, then she will fry him to hell too, because he is a dirty liar. How can you force such a little girl to burn all his health and then deliver the final blow? How can you be so shameless? The same one says that there is no such thing on the battlefield. Only victory is important. It's time to get back to work. The guy deals a fatal blow to the enemy and his level rapidly rises to level 19. The girl says that he screwed up, because after the murder the boss immediately teleports them back. He will not get his 21st level. He asks if she heard the message about clearing the world. Another world boss appears, similar to the one that was just defeated. The girl doesn't understand how the second world boss can appear, but then she realizes that the guy used the light seed on the weapon to revive the boss. The squad repeats the same algorithm, but in an even more perfectly honed form, dealing with the boss in virtually one blow. The final boss of Guillotine Valley has been defeated. The world of shadows has been cleared, and all those who have awakened will be teleported back in 1 minute. The girl says she is terribly tired and is glad that this nightmare is finally over. Alex somehow gets the rarest C-class equipment from the boss. This is a Dullahan shield that is almost impossible to break. He only says that now he can use it, because now he has level 21. With it, the chances of survival of all guild members in the world of shadows of a catastrophic level increase by 20%. 24 hours before the appearance of a catastrophic level shadow world, the opponent surrenders to Maria. Amazingly, 17 wins in a row. This is also the 17th family that Stark has called on behalf of the family. She has worked a miracle and brought an amazing influence back to her family's place among the greatest families in Europe. The girl again receives an invitation to the guild from Alex Foster, but still considers him a liar, despite his powers. Unknown people in masks with a bunch of weapons are going to carry out some big plan of theirs. Patrick appears with a minigun and shoots everyone, shouting that he finally found these bastards. May they all go to hell. He receives a message. He again thinks that these are scammers with health products. He tells them to go to hell. Miss Anya is leading a press conference dedicated to the 15th generation of their nanomedical robots. With the development of science and technology, nanomedicine technology has always been the focus of everyone's attention. The emergence of a new generation of home nano-doctors brings great benefits to the elderly, as well as those who live alone. Anya is about to present their new product, but notices her stalker in the hall. She asks the security to take him out. 2 guards carry Foster out of the conference room by the arm, and he asks to be released. One of the subordinates reflects on how her boss manages to recognize him at first sight, and has this guy really been stalking her for so long? There are 3 hours left before the world of shadows of a catastrophic level appears. Alex sits in front of the monitor screen. On the computer in front of him there are 4 people: worried Michael, inspired Charlotte, calm Elizabeth, and sad Jessica. Foster says that he just returned from an important conference, they don't have much time left, and therefore asks everyone to be assembled and listen carefully. Alex asks Jessica not to be on her phone, but she begins to get angry. She constantly has lessons and additional courses, and she can only play on the weekend and therefore is not obliged to listen to him. Walsh nevertheless throws the phone behind his back and listens. Alex says that in 3 hours they will all be forcibly transferred to a random world of shadows of a catastrophic level of any rank A, B, or even C. The four listeners cannot believe that everything will be so serious. Only Elizabeth remains stone-faced. Foster warns them that, firstly, there they should not move more than 50 meters from him, and secondly, in addition to the areas he has designated as safe, they must always remain vigilant. Listeners begin to ask questions about 3 more people who for some reason did not join and apparently are not going to get into the same world of shadows as them. Jessica sticks out her tongue and tells the guy that she still doesn't believe him, and he tells her that children should act respectfully towards their elders. A minute before the appearance of a world of shadows of a catastrophic level, Livesey looks at his army photograph. He receives a message that he has successfully joined the Dawn Guild. Patrick believes that he accidentally clicked somewhere. Maria Sparks also receives a message about her successful entry into the Dawn. She does not understand how she ended up in this liar's guild. Anya is sitting in her office when she also receives a message. She understands that Alex got into the system of the world of shadows and forcibly made her a member of the guild. She admires the guy's hacking skills. Jessica on the monitor screen speaks out angrily about Alex's action. Because after you join the guild, you can't leave for 5 minutes. The guy takes it as a compliment. The countdown clock shows 8 seconds. Foster asks everyone to prepare for forced teleportation to the world of shadows. The guy promises himself that this time he will return them all alive. Teleportation begins. Foster appears through the dispersion with 2 swords, and behind him are 7 powerful fighters. Maria Sparks is the first to voice her grievances, calling Alex a shameless bastard. Patrick, with a cigar in his mouth, speaks more politely. He simply did not expect to meet these people again. Fighter Anya refrains from commenting and simply asks everyone to look ahead. In front of them lies a world of catastrophic level C-rank shadows, a metropolis of ice and fire. No one can believe that they ended up there. Alex reveals that the center of this shadow world is also known as the Circle of Death. Half frozen, half on fire. Ice and flames continue to spread, and when they engulf the entire city, it will be destroyed. For this reason, Foster gathered them all here. In this legendary world of shadows, death is inevitable. Other awakened ones flee away from this place, as the Circle of Death spreads too quickly. Alex and his squad go against the general flow. Towards the center of the city, he notices that a lot of awakened ones have been teleported to this world of shadows. It's a pity that they run away, because this way, they are closer to their demise. Anya remarks that even in the world of shadows, where death lurks everywhere, one must not lose hope of survival. Then she wonders how he is going to help the 7 of them survive. Foster replies that first they need to understand the essence of this world of shadows. What is happening here? Previously, the metropolis of ice and fire was an extremely developed city. Its creator was a scientist, Ironheart, a madman who wanted to gain enormous power. For this, he modified his body with various technologies. But when he was repairing his energy chip, the technology malfunctioned and the chip took over his mind, sending him into a state of rage. Ironheart went crazy and the whole city was engulfed in both hellish flames and terrifying frost. In short, he was to blame for what happened. Charlotte understands that this means that their task is to defeat Ironheart. But as they are going to look for him, Alex says that he is in the center of this circle of death. Michael wonders how they will get to the center of the circle if they can't even take a step there normally. Alex says that they have no choice. Maria says that she doesn't trust this strange guy. She says that she and Anya need to leave here. Foster comes up behind her, puts his hand on her shoulder and says, they can't leave him. The girl asks what he is talking about. Alex explains that in this world of shadows, none of them can move further than 50 meters from him. She wonders why she should listen to him. The guy says that this is the only way they can survive. Sparks slaps her in the face and says that he will leave anyway, and he says that then he will have to calm her down and keep her with him. The girl says how dare he talk down to her. He says that he has never done that. He simply cannot lose her. Anya stands between them and says that now is not the time for the 2 of them to fight. They have more important problems. They must concentrate on clearing out this world of shadows while they have the chance. So they must listen to him for now. And if he deceives them, then she will personally kill him. Maria agrees with this. Alex tells Jessica that now is not the time to play games on the phone. She says that she could die at any second. Let him let her relax. It would be better to look at the old man. He generally drinks all the time. Patrick tipsily wonders if they will fight now. Otherwise, it would be time to get to work. No matter how strange their group may seem, he swears that he will not let any of them die. Anya asks why Alex decided to walk through the fire zone and not the frost. He says that in the frost zone, he would not be able to move so fast and protect everyone at the same time. The risks are too great. Charlotte complains about the incredible heat. Because the fire zone is also dangerous, how can they pass through this sea of fire? The guy walks into a city filled with flames and tells them not to worry because he has a plan. Charred mummies are walking in the fire. They are clearly extremely unfriendly, despite the flashes all around. Alex destroys the enemies, some strange chips fly out of them, but the squad is already leaving. Anya says that these are the same chips that give 3 minutes of invulnerability to fire, which means that all these monsters are made of technology. She says that they will help them survive. The guy says that this is exactly so, but the deadly cycle expands every 30 minutes. If it expands 4 more times, it will cover the entire world of shadows. Jessica says that there are only 2 hours left before the destruction of the world. 1 chip is enough for 3 minutes, and there are 8 of them. In order to survive for 3 hours, you need to get 320 chips. Alex says it's time for the girl to stop playing. She needs to get down to business seriously. She complains that he talks to her like she's his servant. Many monsters attack again. Maria warns everyone about this. The guy says that area reinforcements are needed. The girl agrees and distributes her forces among all party members. Livesey laughs and says that there is no better fight than after strong alcohol. Everyone makes their attacks, including the boy. Alex tells him to be more careful and not go too far with the fury of the beast. There are still 15 minutes left until the new expansion, after which the monsters will be updated with new ones. You need to act quickly. 6 minutes before the expansion, the group asks how many more chips the team needs. Anya says that there are still 30 left. They won't have time to collect that many. Alex says that then it's time for them to use this thing and takes out a crystal ball, which turns out to be a magical bait. And this is a C-rank item that attracts strong opponents. A giant man-lion chimera appears, a giant monster ready to dispatch the party in the blink of an eye. Alex says that here are their chips. And by the way, the monster brought them some very cool things with them. The boss says that now is the time for Charlotte. The girl says that she will never let him down. She flies into the air, lifts many cars with her telekinetic powers and throws them straight at the enemy, causing them to detonate. The heroes defeat the enemy using common skills. Alex notices that they haven't fought side by side for a long time. Some kind of nostalgia immediately attacked. The girl thinks that the guy is starting to talk nonsense again. By the way, the ring fell out of the ring. The hero invites Maria to accept it, but she says that she can't suddenly offer it like that. She cannot agree. The guy says that this is a good item for sword warriors. It reduces the cooldown of skills by 50%. How can you not take such a thing as an A-rank sword oath? The girl blushes and thinks that she seems to have misunderstood everything. Some say that this team from an unknown guild really had a lot of aces up their sleeves. Some guy in a mask with a skull behind Charlotte says that they did a good job. Now let them give all the chips back. Maria says she doesn't know who they are, but it would be better if they let her friend go. Elizabeth says that this is the Black Fog, one of the 10 strongest criminal murder guilds. They say that they have already destroyed many guilds. They will not repeat it. If they want their friend to live, then let them give away the chips. Alex asks Anya to give him all their chips with a strange expression on her face. He asks if they will really give it back when they get the chips. He says of course, but warns that they are surrounded by his people, so no jokes. Alex says that he heard that the Black Fog never lets anyone go alive, but he will trust them, so he will show them how their chips work. The guy says stop being smart and let him give the chips back now. Alex says that there is no need to rush, he is just stalling for time. And then he breaks the chips, and there are more and more flames around him. Everyone understands that this is a signal and breaks the chips that were in their pockets at that very second. The circle of death begins to expand, and the attackers are quickly burned by the emerging flames. The girl who was ambushed turns out to have a shield. The fire does not reach her. She is safe. Jessica understands that Alex secured the power of the barrier from the boss on her, and this is the power of the artifact. Anya thinks that the guy's strength is terrifying. He was able to come up with a plan in a second where he would destroy the enemies with the help of deadly fire. It's good that this psychopath is on their side. Alex arrogantly says to follow him. Soon they will find themselves in real hell. The squad walks through the destroyed fiery city, and Michael admires the boss's ability to navigate this place. The guy says that he has been collecting information for 3,000 years. Of course, he has already memorized the way. Maria frowns and chuckles, still not believing that Alex is not lying. Charlotte says that it seems that Miss Sparks does not really trust their boss. She does not even approach him. Jessica says that he is very strong, but just as mysterious. And Maria is a righteous and sincere girl who hates liars. Of course, she does not like his. Michael notices that some strange people also seem to be walking on their way. Charlotte notices that they seem to be wearing thermal suits. Patrick says that everyone has their own path, but in a place like this, even the suits won't help them for long. Anya says that they still have some chips left, so they can help those poor people. Maria does not understand what is happening. Alex asks the team not to make noise, and a catastrophic patrol appears in their line of sight, which looks like ancient Egyptian deities. Men in thermal suits, in fear, open indiscriminate fire on the patrol. A rocket launcher shell hits one of the patrolmen directly in the head, but he doesn't care. With one blow, the monsters completely wipe out the suited squad from the face of the earth. Alex says that this is a catastrophic patrol. They have incredible power and regeneration. They are the scavengers of this world. Anya says that if they cannot cope with them, then they will not be able to cope with the boss. A large squad of monsters passes by. The boss tells his squad not to move. He says that he will distract the enemies, and they will quickly run to the center of the circle of death. Alex will catch up with them when they get there. Maria says that it is too dangerous for him to go alone. She asks him to take her with him. Alex knocks the girl out and asks them to take care of her, and he goes on his way. Jessica tells Mr. Big Liar not to die here, and he says that he has been here for 3,000 years. It will be very difficult for him to die here. Alex screams for these idiots to come here and runs away from a bunch of huge warriors. The rest say that this is their chance. It's time to move intensively towards the center. Michael notices that the monsters have surrounded the leader behind him, and he has nowhere to run from them. Charlotte says that the boss will be fine. They just need to run. They can't miss the opportunity they've created. Patrick says that if the guy manages to survive, he definitely won't refuse to drink with him until he's blue in the face. Alex thrusts the sword into the monster's eye, saying that even the 10 seconds they don't regenerate is enough for him. The boss leaves the warrior, and his allies hit him with a magic beam and melee weapons. After this, the guy flies up, away from the battle, to save his life. Maria appears and grabs the guy's hand, which was just a little short of reaching the roof. Alex wonders what she is doing here. She says that he still has the nerve to say this. She is not so weak that she needs someone's protection. She will fight side by side with those who are important to him. They will cover each other, friend. He asks again that he is important to her. She blushes and says that she meant her allies. He remembers the many battles he had been through with her over these 3 years. Alex grabs the girl and saves her from the fire beam while she says she's worried. One of the patrol members fires a hail of fiery bullets in the direction of the heroes. The guy carries her in his arms. She says that it seems that she is not of much use. If she had not come, he would definitely have found another way out of this situation. He denies, saying that she did him a great favor. She came, as always, on time, as befits his goddess. But next time, let her listen to him. Maria and Alex catch up with the team. Michael is glad that they are both okay. Maria tells him to let her go. The guy says that he almost forgot and will do everything now. Charlotte says she thought they both just ran away together. Patrick says that looking at the two of them in such troubled times, just let them get married already if they love each other. Sparks blushes deeply and tells her team members to stop talking nonsense. Anya says that a girl like her, who has never been in a relationship, regardless of her status, could very well be seduced by this guy. Charlotte notices that their path forward is blocked. Jessica shouts that they need to go back. Since everything around them is being destroyed, they cannot go further. Behind them turns out to be the same catastrophic patrol, which is already ready to smear the heroes against the wall. Jessica shouts that there is no way back. Are they really going to die here? Alex says that he won't allow any of them to die here, not on his shift. The heroes run up the stairs of the destroyed building. Michael asks why they are running upstairs. And Anya says that no one can understand what's on Alex's mind. They just need to follow him. Maria grabs Jessica, who twisted her ankle. He says that she understood what the embrace of a goddess is. It seems that her life is perfect. If she survives here, then all the guys from the class will be very jealous of her. At this moment, the head of the guild says that they have come to the right place. A huge metal round door appears in front of them. Maria says that this place was least damaged by the fire. Apparently it is made of special materials. Alex says that this is a command center, which is also the basis of the city's defense. Spark says that they need to hide here, because if the patrol catches up with them, they will all die. Alex reports that this is not just a cover, but their salvation, and opens the door with the help of his powers. Anya asks how he opened the door. Charlotte laughs and says that their boss knows all the secrets of the galaxy. He even managed to lead them to the secret base. Anya asks again, and the imperturbable Alex sighs slightly excitedly. From inside the complex, you can see a catastrophic patrol. For some reason, someone is standing on the shoulder of one of the warriors. Anya says that this is a puppet crystal and consumables of a special class. This allows you to control non-sentient creatures of any size. They actually managed to use them on a catastrophic patrol. It turns out that this is the same guild that previously harmed the heroes. They do not understand what they want. Patrick says that, obviously, revenge. Maria says you can't just sit here and then die. Alex says that this will not happen, because this place has been turned into a mechanical fortress for shelter. There is no way they will get here. But he likes to counterattack more. Let Jessica come over. The guy says to follow his instructions. The girl shouts indignantly how he can put everything on the shoulders of a child. Maria asks if everything will be okay, but the boss says that Jessica received special training from him, so everything will be fine. The servant tells the leader that the enemies are inside the building. They will not be able to leave, as they are surrounded on all sides. The head of another guild says that they will pay for the death of his deputy. Alex says that the girl activated the fog of the defensive center and limited their field of view. Now it's his turn. The hero flies out of the building and quickly attacks the attackers while they do not see anything. The guy attacks the boss directly. He says that he will go to hell for this. Alex parries the attack with a shield. The enemy does not understand why an awakened one without a level 20 class could defend against his attack from a level 40 assassin. Foster says his protective barrier instantly blocks all attacks level 50 and below. The guy kills the boss. Everyone shoots to take revenge, but all the bullets hit their leader. Elizabeth appears and shoots all the enemies on the shoulders of giants. Alex uses the puppet artifact to subdue the disaster patrol. The whole team says that the boss is very cool. Charlotte says that she really wants to follow him for the rest of her life and be his servant. Jessica says that she is stupid. She would rather marry him. He says that he will later send this whole bunch of giants to the location of the final boss and let the rest wait here. Maria says that it is extremely dangerous to go there alone, trying to get to him again. Alex asks Anya to look after Sparks for his sake. He asks to trust him. Soon he will pull everyone out of this world of shadows. Maria sadly looks after the guy. Anya says that their attacks will not even cause damage to the Iron Heart. They should just wait here. He really may be capable of that miracle. Patrick says that the guy will definitely return alive, since they have already decided to drink together. 30 minutes before the last expansion, some heroes are in the cold zone. Some kind of explosion almost completely covers a detachment of fighters, who only miraculously protect themselves from the attack. The robotic enemy says that no targets have been detected, surveying the area from above. Many robots are circling above the center of the circle of death, ready to destroy anything. One of the heroes wonders what they should do, since out of 100 people who were here, only 3 got here. The girl says that she underestimated the horror of Ironheart. It was her mistake. They could not find his real body, so their entire group was destroyed by just a few robots, which he mass produces. The other girl says that she is not to blame. All they can do is attack the Iron Heart. Otherwise, they will become easy prey. If only Alston were here. The girl says that their guild is too large for them all to be transported to the world of shadows. But there is no point in talking about it now. The final expansion will begin soon. The heroes say that the end is near, but at that moment they see a crowd of a giant catastrophe patrol approaching here. They don't understand what's happening. Why all the catastrophic patrols are coming here? Have they really decided to deal with all the awakened ones at once in one fell swoop? Arriving opponents begin to catch the robots and squeeze them like annoying insects, dealing with the cyber threat. The robots begin to shoot back, but this is useless against the regeneration of the patrol, while the fiery rays calmly destroy the enemies. The second group of heroes does not understand why the Catastrophe Patrol began to fight the army of robots. They notice that this is the work of the newcomer who killed the final boss in the City of Dark Ruins. The alarm is raised in the Steel Heart building and the autonomous defense system is activated. The patrol deals with huge forces of robots without much damage to combat units. The squad realizes that this is the last group of robots. The guy managed to completely destroy the army of robots, sacrificing 2/3 of the catastrophic patrol. They think about how last time the guy wasn't even level 10. How did he become so strong so quickly? A level 20 newcomer took on Ironheart, the final boss of the world of shadows of a catastrophic level. He imagines himself to be a god or something. Alex's guild understands that the final battle for the city will begin soon. Charlotte believes that he will succeed. The boss orders the Catastrophe Patrol to attack the Sky Tower and grind Ironheart into powder. The warriors destroy a giant building. Steelheart finds himself there. The floor disappears from under his feet, and he begins to fall. He takes off and wonders how some pathetic bunch of weak and dirty living creatures dared to stand in the way of him, who is at the pinnacle of evolution. One of the warriors points his battle axe straight at Steelheart. He says that this attack is too slow and hits the patrolman with his momentum, sending him flying. He then dispatches the next giant monster, punching right through it, leaving a gaping hole in its body. Steelheart says that their attacks are just ridiculous. He decides to show them real power and fires a bunch of missiles that tear apart the bodies of the Catastrophe Patrol. This truly terrifies the party of heroes. The Catastrophe Patrol's attacks cannot penetrate its shield. It simply destroys them. The last warrior hits the surface of the shield with his hammer, causing it to crack, to Steelheart's surprise. Alex jumps over the patrolman's body, jumps straight from the hammer and rushes to attack. Foster drives the blade into the crack, striking a high-frequency vibration of particles, breaking the barrier into small pieces, shocking the world boss. A man from the hero squad wonders where this guy was able to get a vibranium sword. This is a material from the world of shadows. The boss dodges Alex's attack and asks how a despicable man dares to attack him so vilely. The guy offers to fight him directly if he doesn't like sudden attacks so much. Alex takes out his shield and uses a 100-fold magnetic absorption force. The enemy is simply attracted to the shield and stretched out on it. The hero says that he got this magnetic shield from a company that develops an army of robots and installed it so that it will only target him. Steelheart uses a light arc discharge and emits multiple red waves. From such an attack, Alex flies away, and the shield breaks into several pieces across the battlefield. Steelheart wonders if this is all he has. He's too weak. The guy says that he has another gift and points his finger somewhere. The enemy turns around and sees a double energy cross in the sky heading towards him. Steelheart's body is crushed into the floor with severe wounds, requiring an energy source to activate full recovery. Everyone understands that Alex was able to activate an absolutely star cannon, which requires a satellite key. They do not understand how he managed to gain such power in this world. The party sees a huge disk in the sky. Charlotte notices that the final expansion will begin soon. Jessica says that she activated the star cannon as Mr. Liar asked, but as long as the source of the Iron Heart exists, it will be constantly restored. She does not understand what to do next. Steelheart says that he won the battle, because in a minute the circle of death will cover this entire world, after which everyone will die except him. Foster takes out the egg and thanks him for being hatched in this blazing hot world. Now it is his turn to shine. The boss of the City of Dark Ruins, a giant with steel wings, emerges from the egg. Now everyone understands what trump card Alex had. The giant advances on the Steelheart. The boss of this world says that all attempts at resistance are futile. He shoots from his cannons at the steel wings, but it does not take the bullets at all. He takes out his tentacles and wraps them around the enemy. The giant slowly squeezes the Steelheart. The countdown is coming to an end. Everyone is worried and asks for victory. When 6 seconds remain, Alex orders the monster to absorb his energy source. Steel wings with their tentacles pull out his heart from the boss and eat it. The final boss of the metropolis of ice and fire is destroyed. The shadow world is cleared. All awakened ones will be teleported back within 1 minute. The people from the Ark are delighted. They think that the giant with steel wings has returned to the form of an egg to absorb energy, after which he will become much more dangerous than the Iron Heart. Maria is sincerely glad that Alex was able to do this. Now she is no longer so sure that the guy's words about 3,000 years are a lie. Anya simply exhales and is glad that she survived. The most happy of all are Michael and Charlotte, who believed in their boss 100%. Jessica notes that it was hard for her. As soon as she gets back, she will play games all night. Foster realizes that, judging by the way things are set up, the next shadow world they enter will be much worse. All the knowledge he possesses will be useless. After teleportation, Alex looks at his indicators, which have increased greatly after the catastrophic world. For passing the metropolis of ice and fire, Foster received an atomic battle sword. This weapon needs to be charged. The guy does not understand how to do this, because he may need electricity for the whole city. Alex decides that he will do this later, since now he is just tired. He sits down to rest. Some girl notices Foster and says that she is very sorry to see such singletons on Valentine's Day. Her boyfriend notices that she shows too much compassion for people, and that loner doesn't even deserve the attention of such a beauty. The entire crowd of people pays attention to the walking figure. Someone notices that this is the most beautiful girl that anyone in this world wants to date. No one is her equal. Surrounded by a crowd of men, the goddess Maria Sparks appears with a glittering dress. Someone says that she should be in Europe now, and it is not clear why. She flew to their city. Another guy notices that the son of the richest man in the city does not stop trying to woo her. Perhaps she changed her mind and decided to give him a chance. But to everyone's surprise, this girl approaches the same guy whom no one had noticed until recently. She says she brought coffee as he asked, "Let him drink it before it gets cold." All the people around are in incredible shock. The goddess flew halfway around the globe to bring this bastard coffee. God, she just showed kindness to this homeless bastard by buying him coffee. He says that she is late and then invites her to sit with him. People around are wondering how Maria Sparks can be so close to this rogue. He says that he didn't know that dating her in the real world would be so difficult. She apologizes and says that she didn't expect everything to be like this. Alex takes Maria by the hand and says that they need to find another place. The girl blushes. They run into an alley. The hero presses the girl against the wall, causing her to blush excessively. People around them try to chase them, but they run past that alley, so the crowd quickly moves away from their location. She asks why he called in such a hurry and asked for a meeting. He says that she will soon find out everything. The girl asks why she is driving. Alex says that he simply does not have a driver's license in the real world. The guy says that they are going to his student meeting. She will have to pretend to be his girlfriend there. She blushes and says that she has never been in a relationship before, although it is not so important. Did he seriously ask her to fly halfway around the world for this? He says that she was already in them, to begin with. And she says that he again set up his 3,000 loop. And he also adds that this is just for one time. And he will tell her why a series of 5 blows of her family always fails on the last blow. She asks, is it true if he can fix this? When their mission is over, he will give her a solution. He says that after meeting his classmates, she will say that she herself pursued him and did not give up even after he refused her. Then they finally came together. Alex puts his hands behind his head and says that it's just a game. Let her try to train with him, she agrees. But only this time. She says she admits that she was the one who pursued him even after he rejected her. But they finally started dating after she didn't give up and continued the pursuit, so please don't let him leave her. Onlookers say that the goddess also bows to someone. Another says that he cannot stand this life and throws his phone on the asphalt. She asks if his classmates are gathering here. He says that he was joking. And this is the largest trading center for the awakened in Asia. Here you can trade items obtained in the world of shadows. In addition, auctions are also organized here in which different guilds participate. To join the auction, you need to be a high-rank awakened, which is why he called her. They enter the building. Everyone around does not understand what the goddess is doing here. And even in such company, is this guy walking too close to her? He says that they need to make it clear that he has no money at all, so he will have to rely on him to buy the items. She says that she knew that going with him was a bad idea. She says that she will stay today after all his girlfriend. Everyone says that they would dream of being in this guy's place to be Maria's lover. Who is he? They walk through the shopping center of the awakened. Some person invites people to look at rare items from the world of shadows. Let them buy now, so as not to regret it later. Alex picks up what looks like a Rubik's Cube and asks how much it will cost. The seller says that the guy has a keen eye for goods. This is an A-rank item, a mechanical cube. You won't find this anywhere else. A-rank goods cost at least 800,000 coins, but he sells it for only 100. Alex says that this price is too high because it is just an ordinary accessory. The man says that the meeting is destined by fate, so he will give a 10% discount. This is the selling price. And the guy can also try to unlock this cube for just 1,000 coins. If he succeeds, then he can take it for free. Alex tells the girl to give him 1,000. She does it slightly dissatisfied. The man says that he will not return the money if he fails. Many people have tried. Even several expert rank magic cube professionals came. But no one succeeded. Alex, with a straight face, reports that he has already unlocked this cube while the man was talking. Everyone looks in shock at how he did it. Some kind of hologram flies out of the cube. Everyone understands that this thing is worth a C-rank item. The man asks to wait. He cannot sell such an expensive thing so cheaply. Alex wonders why. Does he really want to break his word? The guy says that the merchant should henceforth watch who pays. If the goddess suddenly complains about him, then the awakened certificate will be taken away from him. The girl looks intently and calmly at the seller, who humiliates himself and says that this is not what he meant at all. Maria wonders if his hidden profession is the master of the magic cube. The guy agrees. The cube is also a good way to kill time on boring days, and it is also very useful. The girl says that the guy didn't choose any class. Does he really have some secret? He says that now is not the time to think about it. They have more important things to do. She sighs and asks if he doesn't need her to just pay for his things. Alex buys a B-rank Night Void Cinder, a B-rank Desert Wolf Pistol, C-rank alpha mutation growth pills and a C-rank pain brass knuckles, the girl says that she can no longer carry the things he bought. Onlookers think what a wonderful life this guy has. The goddess pays for everything he takes. Someone says that they never thought that an exceptionally brilliant goddess could be so in love. The girl says that he bought so many things at once. What does he plan to do with them now? Alex only says that soon she will understand everything. A man appears. He says that he and the goddess have not seen each other for a long time. She didn't even say that they were not strangers in this city. Maria asks in shock who this guy is. Alex just looks on impassively. The guy says that he is Robin Stone, the deputy leader of the Spider Guild. They once met with her along with the leader. The girl remembers that their guild is not even included in the world ranking 100, so she did not remember them. As for its leader Carl Johnson, she never talked to him. Why would she remember this guy? Robin says that he just came to ask why she didn't like Brother Sean so much that she chose this guy instead of him. After all, he only bought B and C rank items. All this garbage from the world of shadows. What a pity that he is too poor. When someone is willing to help with purchases, he can only take low-level items. The guys behind Robin say that the couple didn't care about him so much that they already left. Alex, hugging Maria by the waist, leaves. The girl is very embarrassed. The host announces that before the main auction there will be a 15-minute private one, organized by Miss Sparks with a Black Awakening certificate. Listeners are not happy that the goddess is selling her personal items for the sake of a useless guy. Someone says that this is nothing unusual for a girl in love. The screen shows two people. Granny Lynn, the leader of the Puppet Clan, ranked 105th in the World Guild ranking, and Hui Bai, deputy of the Icebreaker Guild, ranked 94th in the World Guild ranking. Foster appears at the main table. He thanks everyone for participating in the surprise auction of the goddess Sparks, says that they do not have much time. 5 of Mary's personal items will be presented. The first he demonstrates is the Dagger of the Night Void, a B-rank weapon. The peculiarity is that at night the damage increases by 0.5. The auction participants consider this dagger to be trash. They call Alex names, saying that he will destroy the goddess's reputation. Haibai agrees with everyone. Some begin to get up and leave so as not to waste their time. Foster reports that every item in the shadow world has a chance of having a certain hidden trait, and all the items that Maria represents have it. Robin says that hidden features are incredibly rare. Alex has no right to even claim anything about the features of this shitty dagger without evidence. Foster smirks and then disappears, everyone wondering where he went. Alex appears behind Stone and puts a dagger to his throat. He tells the guy that the hidden feature of the Night Void dagger is the ability to hide in the shadows for 1.5 seconds. The number of uses of the dagger is 6 times. Spectators enthusiastically note that this dagger is the best weapon for assassins. It has 5 more uses left. It can save lives so many times. Someone is ready to buy the dagger. Foster, releasing Robin, reports that you can only buy a dagger by participating in the auction. And since this is the first item, Alex is ready to make a discount. The starting price is 100,000 awakened coins. The price quickly rises to 800,000. The officer from the Ark notices that the guy is very cool, and everything she heard about him is true. Stone realizes that this useless guy actually has a divine weapon for him, but he just made fun of it and is too anxious to participate in the auction. Robin decides that he will not buy any of his items even if he dies of starvation or on the streets. The Dagger of Night Emptiness is bought for 5 million. He congratulates the generous participant. Stone is very dissatisfied, since it was he who bought this dagger. He understands that reputation is much more important, but he could not resist. Some girl doesn't understand where this guy came from and how he is so good at selling useless items at such a high price. Alex announces the second item for their auction. It turns out to be the Storm Cloak, a C-rank item with the ability to increase speed. The participants are indignant about why the rank is decreasing. The cape generally looks like the most ordinary one. This time, Foster suggests getting straight to the point. He reveals that the hidden feature of the cloak is the ability to see spirits for up to 10 seconds every 3 hours. With this cloak, the chances of survival increase significantly. Perfect for swordsmen. Starting price is 1 million. All guilds have swordsmen. So many are interested in the cloak. The price quickly soars to 3 million. Grandma Lynn's voice is heard from the screen. She surprises all participants by offering 15 million. The officer is shocked by the absurdity of the situation. The C-rank item is sold at the C-rank price. Alex hits with a hammer. The cloak is sent to the Puppet Clan. Robin's friend notices that Foster not only relies on sparks, but that he himself can raise the price of useless items to enormous values. Stone promises himself not to make a single bid again. Alex says that, as everyone knows, when an awakened person reaches level 20, he can choose a class for himself, and when he reaches level 50, he can upgrade his class to mid-rank. Foster opens the chest and reveals that their third item in today's auction is related to an upgrade. Inside is a B-rank crystal skull. It is an alternative to the Holy Grail of Power, an A-rank item required for level 50 warriors who want to upgrade to mid-rank. Starting price is 5 million. The hall explodes again. The price goes up. The officer realizes how cool this item is and offers 10 million. Stone can't stand it and shouts that he's already offered him 15 million anyway. A war begins between Robin and the officer. Overlapping each other's bets, they reach 25 million, but then Huey Bai enters their confrontation with a bet of 35 million. The whole room is shocked at such a high stake. Someone notices that Bai left, but for some reason returned again. Alex thanks Bai for the purchase and is about to demonstrate the next item. He says that he will show 2 items at once, and this will be the finale. Robin convinces himself that he will not place a bet even if the item is divine level. Otherwise, it will turn out to be a dog. His friend believes that now 2 pieces of garbage will be presented. Alex first demonstrates an A-rank magic spirit ring that increases the power of magic by 3%. The hidden ability is an instant cast of mid-level magic that can be used once every 30 days. The second item turns out to be a C-rank ice flame potion. After using which heat and cold spread equally throughout the body, the hidden feature is that when mixed with 1 drop of the substance of revival magic, it can instantly fully restore mana. Maria thinks that the ring can be used by magicians up to level 80, for whom this item is a real cheat, and the ice flame potion is a very rare treasure for the magic class. Alex throws up his hands enthusiastically and says that this is the last chance to buy something worthwhile. The starting price is 10 million. Robin Stone, who had just promised himself not to do this, is the first to raise the bet. He offers 20 million. Granny Lin joins him from the screen with a bet of 30 million, followed by Hui Bai with 40 million. For many viewers, such an increase in the rate no longer leaves a chance to compete for items. Members of large guilds are too rich. Robin loudly announces a new bid of 45 million, but his rivals are not far behind. Hugh offers 50 million, Granny Lin 60 million. Stone can no longer resist these rich woke people from the screens. He doesn't have that much money. Hubai gives up. Alex begins to beat off Granny Lin's bet with a hammer, who is very pleased. On the third strike, an officer from the Ark bursts in and bets 75 million. Granny Lin admits the loss. The items are sent to the Ark. The officer really hopes that she will be able to please the leader with them. Alex bows and thanks everyone for participating in the auction of Goddess Sparks's personal items. After Foster leaves the stage, Alston's figure is projected onto her, saying that he must have arrived too late. Everyone is delighted with the appearance of the strongest awakened one in the world. The officer fearfully asks why he came here. Foster remembers everything he saw in the world of shadows, what the demon Alston did. He politely tells him that he hopes he will participate in the next auction of Spark's personal belongings. But the guy himself is just trying to calm down so as not to show Alston his true intentions. The savior demon turns to Alex and says that he would like to ask him one question. He asks if they have seen him before. Foster answers in the negative, but Alston says that he remembers everything that happened in the City of Dark Ruins. Alston moves away from the guy. They both replay the same night in their heads and break up. The demon destroys the city and kills absolutely everyone. Alex crawls out from under the rubble. The leader of the Ark enthusiastically reports that it is useless to resist and begins to burn the ground under the guy's feet with rays from his eyes. Foster approaches Alston and begins to choke him, but he pushes the guy away and kills him. Darkness. Alex wakes up in his bed in a cold sweat. 3 days have passed since that auction, but he still has this nightmare. Before leaving at the auction, Alston thanked Foster for saving the people from the Ark in the City of Ice and Fire. The guy was glad that the demon did not notice his intentions, and Alex was even able to acquire what he wanted without being noticed. He takes out a drawer from under the bed. It contains 2 items, a C-rank copy crystal purchased for 90 million, which can copy any A-rank item, and an A-rank charger for 20 million, for charging any electronic device. Alex notices that the crystal also has a hidden ability. In the future, it will be super useful. It can also be used to copy a C-rank item once. Now Foster is level 30. It's almost time to say goodbye to all those major and minor skills. It's time for him to take a step into a new world by changing his class. The guy understands that Alston is extremely strong. In order to cope with this monster who wanted to become a god and save his friends, he needs to become stronger very quickly. Alex receives a message from Jessica. The girl thanks the guy for sending her a soul collection ring, an A-rank item that allows you to instantly use medium power magic 20 times and increases the power of magic by 7%. The guy replies that there is no need to thank him, since he has already debited 200 million from her account for the ring and another 20 for the labor. Jessica is furious. Patrick sits and examines the gravity chip, a B-rank item. If you equip a mechanical axe with it, the attack increases by 15%, and there is also the ability to instantly apply gravity. Michael examines an A-rank madness crystal. When used, it allows the copy to enter a state of extreme madness. The boy believes that if he uses it, the world will be destroyed. Elizabeth received from Alex the Black Widow Kill, a C-rank item. This is a silencer that adds a poison effect and deals additional damage to giant creatures. The girl calls the guy and says that she just received the item and asks him not to send her anything else. The fighter's subordinate, Anya, knocks on Alex's door and asks him to quickly go down with her, since her boss doesn't like to wait for others. Foster asks not to rush him. Otherwise, as soon as he becomes the husband of her director, the first person he will fire will be her. Alex is sitting in a limousine with Anya and her subordinate. The fighter asks why it's taking him so long. The guy replies that usually people are waiting to meet her, so he thought it wouldn't hurt for her to experience this feeling. Anya says that she is only helping him as payment for saving him in the City of Ice and Fire, and to pay off the debt for the top-level treasure with the lightning effect that he gave her. Foster realizes that the item is not so good, since he himself improved this C-rank brass knuckles. Fighter Anya says that now they are even, and Alex thinks she is too cold. The girl says that they don't know each other so well for such familiarity. She asks the guy to stop acting like that, as if they were old friends. The guy notices that he knows what color underwear the girl is wearing. She gets very embarrassed and calls the guy a bastard. All three are flying on a plane. Anya realizes that perhaps this ridiculous idiot is the most reliable person in this dangerous world. The subordinate doesn't understand why they transfer from the car to the helicopter over and over again. This guy is forcing the boss to spend so much money. What is he really achieving and for what purpose? Besides, Anya treats him too well. Is she really going to go out marry him? Alex feels that the secretary is curious about what is going on here. He says that he needed to get here to carry out a very important task. The plane lands near some destroyed building. There are a bunch of workers on the site. One of the workers approaches President Anya, tells her that they dug day and night, so they managed to get to the bottom. Anya thanks him. Near the huge recess, the secretary asks the guy if this is exactly what he wanted, because Anya spent a lot of money on it. Foster throws his blue cube, which immediately disassembles, illuminating the entire passage. The guy says that some of the higher-level shadow gates only appear in certain places. Then he burps down and warns that there is no need to follow him. He will be back soon. Alex finds himself in a class world of shadows, near the Tower of the Sage, which is very similar to the one in Pisa. An elderly man appears in front of him, all in white and with a blue staff. He greets the guy. Then a man with a red staff appears out of nowhere and negatively asks the awakened one why he is here. Foster replies that he came to the Sage's Tower because it is the only shadow world where hidden classes can be obtained. The man in black warns the guy that the mortality rate of people driven by greed in this world is 85%. The old man in white invites the reckless young man to look at the list of hidden classes. Of all the options, Alex chooses the classless one. The men are shocked by this choice. The old man notices that this test is the most difficult in the entire Sage's Tower. If he fails, the guy will be destroyed. Foster reports that he knows all this and asks to start the test. The old man shows the door and wishes the guy good luck. Alex leaves, and the men begin to discuss that among the thousands of people who previously took the classless test, only one managed to pass it using an C-rank item. The masters, looking after the guy, are still not sure that he will not be able to perform a miracle. The other says that he will definitely find his death here, and if he does not die on the first level, then he will be the servant of the second all his life. Heavenly Arena. The test of strength is about to begin. The test subject is asked to prepare. The victory condition is to defeat the unstoppable Cyclops. Alex was already ready for this. The monster rushes at the guy, using all its strength and swinging at him. The masters are watching the events taking place in the ball. The old man in white does not understand what is happening. The man in black thinks that this idiot is trying to outwit the Cyclops. He is simply digging his own grave. Alex lunges forward, landing a blow straight into the Cyclops' huge blue eye. After some machinations of the guy, the Cyclops is already flying flat to the ground in an uncontrollable fall. The winner stands in the destroyed arena above the defeated opponent. The test of strength is completed. The portal to the next level is open. The old man says that the boy dealt with the Cyclops in a rather clever way. And the man looks confused and says that before that, he meant that he would be a servant for an hour if the guy passed the first level. But if he passed the second level, then for sure for the rest of his life. Although he passed the first level using cunning, only true strength can help him further. The man says that hell is breaking out on the next level, and the guy slowly and stately walks into the portal. The time has come for a test of speed. Alex is asked to get ready. In the competition, he will need to race with the spirit of the wind, Sylphide, and win. When she runs, powerful whirlwinds will form if the test subject falls out of the way, but he will end up in damned hell. The wind spirit reaches the speed of sound in 5 seconds, and then its speed increases by 5% every 10 seconds. Not to mention that it is an awakened one even without a class. Even if he is a top-level assassin who has invested everything in dexterity, he still cannot. If he can overtake the Sylph, he will go to hell. Alex gets into a low start position, ready to race with spirit. Sylphid says that competing with a pathetic man is ridiculous for her, but it is also the greatest moment of his life, so let him remember it. The guy uses high-frequency vibration of particles on the spirit. She is extremely furious about what happened. The man can't put words together. He says it's cheating. And the old man says that he used weapons from the technological world, and they didn't specify in the rules that the test subject should not kill an opponent, so it's not cheating. He is the only participant left in the race. No matter whether he is fast or slow, he will be the winner. The speed test is completed. Alex crosses the finish line. The teleport gate to the next test has been activated. The man in black says that this is not fair. He cannot pass the third test. If he wins again, then he will be the servant of the old man in white for 3 lives. He says that he does not need to do this. The test of wisdom will begin soon. Alex is preparing. 8 doors correspond to 8 ancient mysterious sealed objects. Time is 15 minutes. During this time, you need to unseal all the objects and get out of the cube, which will be completely swallowed up by lava. The hero stands in front of the doors, wondering what he should do first. The old man says that he cannot spend more than 2 minutes on each item. A high-level cube usually takes at least 6 minutes. There are more than 3,000 operations. The chain of 7 tangrams is a death trap. You need to be extremely concentrated when handling it. If you make a mistake, there will be an explosion that can destroy a city with a population of 1 million people. This is a test that goes beyond the limits of human capabilities, except for the highest level awakened ones with the class of solving mysteries. Everyone else died. The old man wants to say something, but the man tells him not to be so naive. No tricks will help in this test. The man laughs that the guy took a death trap at once, and then is shocked to realize that the guy took 2 objects at once. The chain of 7 tangrams requires extreme concentration, and the old man says that he was mistaken about the guy, because he is too reckless if he tries to do 2 things at once. This guy solved the chain of 7 tangrams in just 46 seconds, and at the same time he also created a magic cube. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. The mysterious Pandora's box was completed. 5 minutes, 12 seconds. The high-level magic cube was completed. 1 minute, 16 seconds. The chain of ancient Babylon was completed. The men don't believe that this guy is a human. They think he's a robot. 10 minutes, 20 seconds. All items are completed. Without any skills, using only his head and hands, he was able to pass. This is the best result in history. The test of wisdom is over. Alex thinks he's done this so many times that he can do it with his eyes closed. The old man asks if the man will bet on the next test. He says that, of course, if the guy goes further, the man in black will turn into a dog. The guy completes the endurance test without any problems. The dog barks that this is a week-long survival test with roaming zombies. Why did it end in less than 24 hours? The old man says that he simply revealed the truth of this world. The earth was the sky. He destroyed the sky. So the sunlight came down and purified the whole world. The old man in white says that the dog needs to turn back. The dog says that this is the last test. If the guy does not die, then he will never turn back. The test of perception will soon begin. The guy is asked to get ready. The requirement of the test, to overcome all classes of the world of shadows. Alex turns away from the crowd of shadow entities and runs in the other direction. The old man says that when one person goes against a crowd of all existing classes, flight is truly the best course of action. As naive as he will die in an even more terrible way. The guy has disappeared somewhere. The shadows are trying hard to find him. They understand in which direction he went. One of them steps on a mine. Several entities are immediately blown up, leaving almost nothing behind. Some kind of pylon flies out of the bushes, and all the people around receive a solid electric shock from this device. The next group of warriors disappears into a laser trap, hitting the sensor and also getting blown up by a bomb. The man is interested in gravitational mines. Tesla coils, stationary machine guns, how he carried all these things with him to the magician's tower. The old man says that the guy was very well prepared, as if he knew in advance how to pass all the tests. Alex jumps out of the bushes and attacks a group of fighters, cutting several of them with one blow. The man in black says that he has no more tricks left. Now he is nothing more than prey that is being hunted. The guy says that when the hunt begins, a real artist can sometimes pretend to be the prey. The man says that now it's all over for Alex. He ran to the top of the mountain just to be surrounded and killed. The crowd chases the guy, but then there is an explosion. The rock falls on the opponents, crushing them with its weight. The men don't believe that the guy seriously blew up the entire mountain with bombs. How many weapons did this bastard bring here? 30% of them are still alive. They are retreating, waiting for the right moment to attack. He will not pass the test anyway. And the old man says that it is too late to retreat. Alex finds the man and says that he has found the master of the game. In this test, the main thing is to deal with the one who pulls the strings. Then all the shadows will disappear. The man tries to deny it, but the guy says that he doesn't care. He will kill him anyway. The man dies. The test of perception is completed. The rat that was the man in black is furious. The old man in white asks the rodent to turn back because he disgraces him. The man in black transforms into himself back, classless. This is the strongest hidden class. They must do more hell-level tests. This time, he himself will be the one to test this brat. If he wants this class so badly, he better be prepared to give his life for it. The old man in white says that his partner's hatred for this test subject is too great. Alex emerges from the teal gate, realizing that this is clearly not the end. Some kind of building. The sky is red. A man in black appears. Whirlwinds are floating around. The guy understands that when he passes this test, everything will end. The man invites Alex to a hidden test and asks him to get down to business. A guy with a satisfied face greets the master in black, raising his hand. The man says that, in truth, he did a good job, going far beyond his expectations, but that is all. In the final test, he will have to face him in a one-on-one battle. The master turns into a dragon and says that only by defeating it will he be able to pass the test to become classless. A giant black dragon shoots a red laser beam and commands you to stand in awe of it. Something appears and makes an ice shield right in front of the guy, protecting him. The black dragon says it's time for the guy to face a real trial. Alex dodges many magical shots fired by the dragon. The black opponent says that the resistance of the small puppy will only make his death more painful. He cannot do anything in the face of true strength. The guy says that the master knows nothing about true power and calls a huge catastrophic patrol to his aid. Alex orders the troops to deal with his problem. One of the fighters draws a laser bow and shoots at the dragon. The hail from an arrow flying into the sky covers the dragon with laser fragments, but it ignores the damage and tries to burn out new opponents. Many laser shots make holes in the dragon's wings. He says that stupid people do not understand that he is a real destroyer of worlds and is preparing his strong attack. The dragon takes off and says that they will all burn in its flame. But one of the warriors runs up and throws a pilum straight towards the most terrible threat from heaven. The throwing spear flies completely past. The dragon laughs that he missed. This is a pathetic sight. Alex shouts in front of the enemy's nose, who said he missed, and heads straight towards the enemy. The dragon realizes in shock that the guy did this intentionally for his own purposes. The guy takes the spear in his hands and points it at the dragon, using an atomic blast, injecting a massive bolt of electricity directly into its body. The dragon fell to the ground, defeated by the cataclysmic attack suddenly directed at it. The final test is completed. Alex receives a classless hidden class. Now he is able to learn the abilities of any class. The man in black is sweating and doesn't understand how he could lose. It's impossible. The old man in white congratulates the young man on setting a new record and says that he is the only one among thousands who managed to obtain this hidden class. Alex wonders about the hidden reward and sees a yellow circle appear next to him. This turns out to be a C-rank summoning emblem. It allows you to summon in battle any creatures from previously completed tests. But the item can only be used once. Alex says that this is not bad and decides to choose a group of 100 classes that he fought with earlier. Alex also masters a hidden skill, the Seal of the Sea of Knowledge, which protects his soul, preventing anyone from reading his memories. The guy remembers that Alston has the ability to read other people's memories. Finally, the guy got a means to protect himself from this. Now he needs to quickly become stronger and defeat him as soon as possible. Alex drives up to Anya's secretary and tells her to relax. He will raise her salary when he marries her boss. She thinks that the head is difficult to deal with. Can he really do it? Alex remembers that he hasn't eaten for a long time and asks the girl to order some food for him from the Star River restaurant. He will send the address later. And don't forget to write it down on his boss's account. She follows a diet, so she spends little on food, which means the budget allocated for food is clearly enough for her. The guy sits at the table and prepares a large set of the received food, eating it. At this moment, he receives a message on his phone. Jessica writes to him and says that her cat got pregnant, and everyone around is acting like children. He thinks that she seems to need more homework. The girl asks, why don't they play? Alex invites her to play a real game in the world of shadows in London. She tells him to find someone else because she can't skip school now. She has a trial exam soon. He thinks that this directly relates to the chance of the human race successfully clearing the final world of shadows. Alex looks at the photo and says, even though his brother died in the world of shadows, there is no way to fix this. But he promised that he would definitely fulfill this for the sake of peace and harmony in the whole world. A city where cars are flying in the sky, Alex and Michael arrive at the station by train, along with Charlotte and Elizabeth. Charlotte had the opportunity to travel abroad for the first time and always wanted to know what it was like to be an international gangster. Everyone is wondering why they have gathered here, Alex, wearing stylish glasses, says that this is all for the sake of an important matter that will determine the further fate and future of this world. The guild is traveling in a mobile base. Kepler asks if anyone can explain to him exactly where they are going and why. Charlotte says that as soon as they arrived in London, they got into this suspicious thing that looked like a prisoner transport. Where are they actually going? She understands that after appearing in this car, her phone does not pick up, and Alex says that the place they are going to is very important. The girl thinks that they are probably heading to some extremely secret place, but due to lack of information, she can't even imagine where. Alex says that they will be guarding someone. Charlotte asks who this mysterious person is. Just don't say that it's someone like the Prime Minister. He says that she is more important than the Prime Minister. Her existence will affect the survival of their entire world. Michael says that the importance of this task is simply enormous, and the girl says that only the existence of a boss can affect their world. She would never agree that someone could be much more important than him. They arrived at the place. There are several more of these cars. They are moving out. Charlotte doesn't understand what kind of people these are, why they have such a murderous aura. Alex says that they are from the Devouring Light, one of the top 10 killer groups in the world. Each of its members is a master in a certain field. Their security services are the best among the best, accessible only to the most influential people. Michael's eyes light up. He looks live at the members of the Heavenly Shield Guild. Their captain, known as the God of the Shield, looks like a great hero. There are some people in masks and suits standing. They welcome everyone to London. They say that the people here are the elite of the elite in the field of security services. It is a great honor for them to see them at the defensive test. Charlotte says her boss is amazing. He literally can get access to anything he wants. He asks to be allowed to start the selection. The first test is simple. They will need to enter one of 3 doors and find a way out. The first 10 teams to complete the task will advance to the next round. They have 3 minutes to choose. If they do not enter within this time, they will be eliminated. He reminds them that they may lose their lives in this test. Everyone is confused. They don't understand which door to choose because if they make a mistake now, the consequences could be catastrophic. Someone says they heard there are masters of surveillance in the Devouring Light. Maybe just choose the same door as them. The man from the Devouring Light rolls the dice and goes through the first door. Elite fighters are divided into groups and then gather at the information gathering place. They are built in several columns and enter 3 doors in groups of equal numbers of people. Other people understand that there is no difference because if they don't enter right away, they will be disqualified. Charlotte says that it's time for the boss to make a decision. Because time is running out, Alex says that they will start when they look at the map of the maze. Michael asks if they will really be given a map, and the boss says that he will do it himself and sends a bunch of yellow balls with wings on their way. Creatures fly into all the doors. This is a B-rank object of the world of shadows. Mechanisms that scan the area, a device that allows you to create a map of the area. Someone is worried whether they will make it in time, but in front of them there is already a map of the labyrinth on the hologram. Charlotte says it's very big, and Elizabeth says the tracks move all the time, so a map won't help. Alex tells her to relax because he has already walked through this maze more than 10,000 times. Now that he has a map of the structure, no matter how many times it changes, he will be able to complete it even with his eyes closed. Charlotte says that. Bye, she follows the boss. You don't have to worry about anything. It's incredible. The girl asks the director if this is considered cheating. He says that they have no rule that prohibits this, so no problem. This group of people with no security experience at all can make the test interesting. Subordinates believe that this bunch of foreigners are unlikely to be able to pass the test. and Alex's team enters the second door. The whole maze is full of traps, even if they have a map. Without skills, they won't be able to go too far. Men in suits jump over laser sensors attached to traps. They pass the test and see a way out. They are extremely happy that they finally found it. This mini-game turned out to be more difficult than it seemed. One is happy that they won't have to walk anymore. And now they can rest, because the rest will not come up soon. At the exit, Alex's team appears before them, playing cards as if they had been sitting here for a long time. The people in suits are in incredible shock. They don't understand how these weaklings ended up here. The girl yells at her boss, Jack, because he said that only God can find a way out faster than them. Alex turns to the people in suits and greets them, introducing himself as a god. The masked man congratulates everyone on successfully completing the first round. Now it's time for the second. The first to approach him will be the Dragon Fang, who was the last to reach the Saint's Palace. Then the masked man announces the entire order. Kepler is interested in what awaits them in the second round. 3 minutes have already passed since the teams began to enter one after another. Charlotte scares the boy, saying that they will have a game with death. When the first team is destroyed, it will be time for the second. Foster calms Michael down, promising him that none of their team will die. The leader of the Devouring Light turns to Elizabeth. He asks why she, a known assassin who did not join any team, came here with these strange people. Jack invites her to join their guild, but the girl asks him not to interfere with her. The man turns out to be persistent. He says that Clark has no future with these losers, so the Light Eaters are her salvation. Alex is dissatisfied. He asks the man to be more polite, because it is uncivil to lure people right in front of his nose. Jack is convinced that Foster's team came first only because they cheated. And if Clark... The people of the Devouring Light are unhappy about being provoked, but their time is coming to start the second round. A girl from their guild remarks that they won't be able to see each other again, so they just have to wait until the end and they'll make them pay for their arrogant words. Elizabeth is upset that she caused the quarrel. Alex calms her down, saying that these people are very unlucky. Finally, it is their turn to begin the test. They are very interested in what awaits them there. They lower themselves onto a platform and a glowing disc appears above them, telling them that he is their target and needs to be protected. Charlotte, drenched in cold sweat, asks Alex if they really need to guard the ball of light. Char reveals that he is an artificial intelligence created after the target that needs to be protected. He is responsible for this test. In order to pass it, they need to protect his real body. Michael asks if his real name is Scientist. The ball apologizes and says that he cannot answer such a question. He also says that the test will begin now and asks how much they know about him. Foster says her name is Erin, an artificial intelligence developer and also a Shadow World researcher. Alex also knows that she has combined the formula developed by artificial intelligence for the Shadow World. She can gradually calculate the development path of the Shadow World and its impact on their world. In other words, Erin can predict the future of the Shadow World, all of which is possible thanks to the OS financial organization founded by her grandfather. Intelligence notices that the information mentioned by Alex has not been disclosed anywhere. Because of Alex's grandfather's pocket watch, they can join the test. Erin asks the guy to tell him what her grandfather told him before his death. Foster says, with a sad look, that her grandfather just wanted to save the world. Alec also explored the world of shadows. 3 years ago, he sold his share in the OS financial organization to allow Erin to continue studying. He also asked Foster to protect his granddaughter because her research concerns the last trip to the world of shadows. And he also said that when people invade the world of shadows, he will also attack our world. And since the attack of people on the world of shadows will be very difficult, a specialist in the form of Erin is a very important figure. The ball notices that Alec trusted Alex very much. Alec also asked to tell Erin that she is not a tool, but his precious granddaughter, as well as a partner with whom he will save this world. The ball thanks for the information. Michael touches it. It turns red, indicating that the test has not been passed. The boy does not understand why. The artificial intelligence replies that during the test they used auxiliary devices. This caused his dissatisfaction. And also the main purpose of the test is to collect information. And most importantly, Erin simply cannot afford to engage in a security mission for someone like them, since it is very risky. And the most important thing is that Erin simply cannot allow people like them to undertake a security mission, since it is very risky. Charlotte gets angry. At this moment, the color of the ball begins to change, and the intellect reports that they have passed the test. Alex realizes that the real body of the ball gave the order after receiving a message from the guy. Erin begins to understand that the guy planned everything from the very beginning. Foster reports that he has been researching information systems for several years, although he does not have the same talent as the ball, but he believes that it is an ordinary digital device to achieve goals that can be achieved by convincing the person behind the ball. Artificial intelligence agrees with the guy. It can't analyze people like Foster. Charlotte is very happy. She calls her boss God, and he says that it's time to go. They've been waiting for them. They enter the door, causing shock to the other guilds. Skyfang believing that these outsiders simply could not complete this mission, and the Light Devourers saying that they are too inexperienced. The masked man reports that Foster's team has been specifically assigned by someone to protect them. No objections will be accepted, but in terms of contribution to the work, they will not be entrusted with anything important. Alex reports that he is only interested in the opportunity to participate in this mission, as well as the reward for completing it. The rest is nonsense for him. The masked man briefly talks about the task. This is a 7-day security mission. During these 7 days, they must ensure the complete safety of the target. All this will take place on a large spacecraft near the Asia-Pacific Space Station. The Avalon spaceship is preparing to fly to the Mars Space Station. Everyone is asked to come on board. Charlotte finds it strange that even though they were paid a huge sum, they still haven't seen the one they need to protect. A flight attendant welcomes. Everything looks like a real city. Charlotte is delighted. Michael asks the girl not to forget that they came for work. Then he notes that he has not yet seen any of the Light Devourers and the Heavenly Shield. Foster replies that they simply have a higher ticket class. Charlotte is unhappy with this because they all make a living here with their skills, and therefore no one has the right to look down on them. Alex says that an economy class ticket is also very expensive. Having learned that their trip cost $10 million, Charlotte is shocked by this news. She will have fun to the fullest during these 7 days, and will never miss this opportunity. She shouts that it was worth it. She loves freebies. Michael is worried about this trip. He asks Elizabeth if they can even meet their client. She says that it will be even better since she only knows how to kill people, not to protect them. For some reason, it seems to Michael that there is not a single normal person in their guild. Meanwhile, Maria has the third man almost knocked out. She shouts that he will take his sword and fight if he is a man. Anya says that her secretary should head the company of the guilty subordinate and fire him, and also force him to divorce his wife. She says that he was just teasing her. Do they really need to do this? Patrick answers the phone and says that he knows the caller sells nutritional supplements and calls him every day. He, sitting on a beach chair, says that the merchant, although he understands that he will not buy anything from him, still cannot stop calling him to have fun. Leslie suggests continuing to chat so that he does not blow up the company of the caller. Jessica, meanwhile, managed to hack the school system. Now she's not afraid of exams. But who now will play with her if that liar went to Mars? The ship is in Earth's orbit, and other planets are visible around. Alex presses the button and the door to the cabin provided by his guild opens. The room has a 6-pointed star made of sleep pods, and in the middle there is a common toilet. Charlotte and Michael are in an extreme state of shock. This is clearly not what they expected. The guy says that they only have one room. As expected, they are being treated unfairly. Alex tells the boy to be more positive and look at it from a different perspective. Suddenly, Elizabeth begins to strip down to her underwear without any embarrassment. Alex blushes and turns away, closing Michael's eyes at the same time. He asks why the boss closed his eyes. Charlotte angrily asks why Clark suddenly began to undress. She says that she wants to take a shower. The girl begins to wash herself without switching the door to an opaque one. Charlotte does this for her with extreme embarrassment. She says extremely irritably that first the girl should have changed the mode at the door. Elizabeth is displeased and wonders why the girl is so worried about this. Charlotte says that she already suspected that she was a robot. But now she has even more evidence and wonders what Alex thinks about this. The girl turns around and sees that the boss is not here. She asks where he went, and Michael shrugs his shoulders in embarrassment. Alex talks to the artificial intelligence. He wants to see each other for the purpose of protection. But he says that the guy's guild is in reserve. The rest will perform protection until something happens to both teams and they meet. Only during a crisis they use his team, so that they need to wait. The head of the guild says that this is an old way of thinking. Why don't they make a deal? The artificial intelligence says that he is not interested in this boring activity with people. The guy asks him not to refuse without even listening. Alex says that he has information about all the passengers on the ship. With it, he will be able to analyze everyone, find out who poses a threat, which will help increase the level of security. The artificial intelligence asks if the guy hacked the system. He says that's exactly it. He can hack any system, including the interlocutor. But this concerns the future of their world, so now it will only protect and not harm in any way. so he asks to make this fair deal. The machine can't refuse the guy's offer. With this information, the chance of survival will increase by 15%, but he will only give him 30 minutes. That's more than enough. Charlotte wonders why the boss was gone almost all day, and now he has suddenly returned and gathered them here. Where they are going, Alex says that they will now meet with the client. The people from the Sky Shield say that those losers have come. What are they doing here? They say that they will not let Alex's team participate in this mission. Fools like them should just stay away and not interfere. Charlotte tells the soldiers that from now on, her boss is here, now, and he asks to look at their schedule. The members of the respected guild don't understand. Did they really finish the work earlier? Shouldn't these guys be in reserve? Charlotte unceremoniously pushes the warriors aside and says that they are done with standing in the way. Now, they decide everything here, and they must follow the rules, so the path follows the schedule. The guild members enter the room. They see Erin there. She looks like some kind of scientist. There are many monitors around. She says that they arrived later than she expected them. Alex understands that she was waiting for him. Michael is incredibly happy that he was finally able to meet the goddess of artificial intelligence, a legendary programmer capable of living forever, thanks to the use of machine intelligence. Charlotte slaps her hand on the back of the boy's head. She says that only their boss is the true god, and this girl is just a woman who works harder than robots. The girl says that since Alex learned about her from her grandfather, he must also know that she despises those who take the easy route. They were only given the chance to board because their grandfather personally asked them to do so. He says he doesn't care what she thinks of him. He's here because he accepted her grandfather's last request to help her achieve her dreams. She asks if the guy really knows what she dreams of. He says yes. And for this reason, she must live until she graduates from the Shadow Artificial Intelligence 3.0 program. She says that this is true. With the end of the world approaching, death becomes commonplace. But until the completion of the Shadow Intelligence, she must remain alive. Shadow Artificial Intelligence is a program that can save their world. A concept invented by a girl and her girlfriend. This world has almost no time left. Only this program can save everyone. Alex asks if the girl can tell who is hunting her, but she says that she is not interested. She does not want to waste her energy on it. She is being hunted either by the Shadow World system itself or by its competitors, who are also developing their own Shadow Artificial Intelligence, since Shadow Artificial Intelligence is an extremely profitable shadow project, and she will make it available to everyone. It is not surprising that people working in this area will want her death. Alex says that as long as the girl is on this ship, he guarantees her safety. She says that she knows this. Once they reach the space station, she will transfer to another ship and go to Mars using cosmic power, then their paths will diverge. She thanks that the guy agreed to satisfy her grandfather's request. The guild leaves the premises in a strange but serious mood. Men in suits stand in front of the door and say, as expected from these amateurs, they were kicked out so quickly. One of the light eaters says that people like that don't belong here, and Alex slaps her on the butt, making her feel extremely awkward. The bald man with the scar says that the bastard is doing it himself, and Alex says that they themselves said that they were a bunch of amateurs, so he decided to do just that. The offended girl shouts that today, either his hand or his life will remain here, and another man points a laser pistol. Alex turns around with an arrogant, sly face. He says that any conflicts between teams are prohibited, otherwise the mission will fail, and this is just a warning. Jack tells his guild to calm down. They will return the favor when this is all over. The bald man tells them to start counting how long these scum have left to live. Charlotte makes an obscene sign to those who insulted her and sticks out her tongue. The man asks why the girl didn't dodge the slap on her buttock. She is extremely embarrassed. Elizabeth asks if Alex has attached a nanoscale tracking device to that girl. The guy smiles and says that he knew that he couldn't do it without her noticing. The girl is interested in what he's up to. Alex says that he doesn't know, but the situation will definitely become much more interesting, and it's time for them to go, because finally, they can have a lot of fun. 3 days later, Alex's guild is awakened by an asteroid hitting the hull of the ship. The notification system asks not to panic. Michael says that the Avalon's flight path is always safe, and the ship has a powerful radar system. He should have calculated the possible impact of the asteroid 3 hours before. Alex says that the system was destroyed even before the flight began. The ship has already lost any connection with the outside world. Alex is afraid that complete chaos will come very soon. Michael asks if the enemies really came for this lady programmer. They are completely out of their minds, doing all this to kill one person. Everyone starts to gather. The boss says that according to the order, the asteroid strike is just the beginning, so it's time to get to work. Some people in spacesuits are trying to quickly repair the hole in the hull before anything happens. Some creature with a worm's head and a humanoid body appears. The man in the spacesuit does not understand what it is. The monster's mouth opens, revealing many sharp teeth and meaty appendages. All the guards are quickly running away from many such monsters. The warning system notifies that dangerous alien creatures have boarded the ship. All passengers need to immediately evacuate to a shelter. The shields are trying to say that it is too dangerous for the Light Eaters, but they just grunt and continue their movement. Jack and his men brutally deal with the guards. Everything goes according to their plan. Once the ship is destroyed, there will be no evidence left that they were here. The mercenaries say that the time has come to kill Aaron, and then they can get out of here using the escape capsule. Baldy is burned through by a fiery ray. His people do not understand where he came from. Alex appears from behind the door with a girl with a terrible grin on his face. He wonders what a wonderful coincidence is, and his whole team begins to warm up. Jack screams, not understanding where they are from. The guy says that he tracked the movements of each of them, even the cash flows in their bank accounts. They were incredibly suspicious, so he had to use nanomachines for surveillance. The Light Eaters are furious at such actions and want to know who Alex is, but he replies that it doesn't matter. He then reveals that all the people in the suits were subject to his hypnosis from the very beginning, thanks to the nanomachines Alex can activate it at any time. And now he has done so, forcing them to go in the opposite direction from the laboratory. Foster snaps his fingers, causing everyone to wake up. The entire squad finds themselves at the mercy of the Nightmare Fox. Jack asks to be released, asking for forgiveness and hiding his true intentions. Alex asks Charlotte to do him the honor of sending these people to the Creator, but the girl hesitates. The guy explains to her why they cannot be pardoned, and the girl creates a weapon that causes an intracranial explosion. The Light Eater squad dies instantly. Alex tells his people that it is time for them to go to protect their client. Erin's laboratory is infested with monsters, and she is protected by people from the Heavenly Shield. The girl accidentally steps on a tin can, making a loud sound and attracting all the monsters to herself. Everyone begins to run for their lives. One of the monsters quickly catches up with Erin, and at the last moment the monster is struck by a deadly ray. The doors open in front of the girl and 3 figures appear, glad that they made it on time. Elizabeth uses her huge cannon to fry several monsters with a powerful stream of fire. Charlotte goes ahead of everyone and blocks the bloodthirsty monsters with a green shield. Michael at this time grabs Erin by the hand and takes her out of the laboratory to a small ship. The girl asks where their boss is. Kepler replies that he went to the deck because the Light Eaters killed all the workers responsible for running the ship, and he is also repairing all the machines they destroyed. Erin asks the boy in surprise if their boss really knows how to repair ships. Michael replies that according to him, it is very simple. A ship of this size should have a backup system in its core. He just needs to adjust the circuits a little. A huge monster smashes the ship to pieces, towards which Michael and Erin are running. The girl notices that this is the mother of the monsters. Michael, not at a loss, immediately summons his demon. The Nightmare Fox rushes at the mother and immediately receives a powerful blow. Michael falls to his knees and clutches his head. Erin is very scared for his condition, but he says that everything is fine. Elizabeth enters the fray. She fires at the mother with a huge burst of machine gun fire. Charlotte gets involved, noticing that this ugly monster has a really thick hide. The girl tries to use an intracranial explosion again, but the monster emits ultrasound. The entire squad, along with Erin, grabs its head. The monster immediately grabs everyone except Erin with its tentacles and is about to crush the girl with its powerful paw. Alex arrives just in time and uses his ice sword to cut off the mother's paw. The monster releases a group of tentacles. Everyone hits the floor with enormous force. Michael asks Foster to take this huge monster on himself. Foster says that the mother should be left to him, and everyone else should leave. The guy thinks it's time to use the evolved giant with silver wings. The monster emits ultrasound again, and Charlotte screams for everyone to cover their ears. Alex, standing on the giant's shoulder, orders him to deal with the mother specimen. A giant with steel wings grabs the monster in one hand and throws it with all his might. Charlotte is delighted with her boss's powers as the battle rages on. Foster freezes the monster for a short time, giving the giant a clear advantage. He throws the mother specimen with such force that it breaks through all the layers of the ship and sends the monster into outer space. Alex immediately orders the Avalon system to immediately repair the damage caused with the help of nanobots. The hole quickly disappears, the entire squad exhales. Charlotte notices that they were very close to death. Erin is shocked that this eccentric was actually able to gain control of the ship's maintenance system, since this is his first time in space. Foster reports that although the ship can maintain itself, it does not allow for external communication, and it also does not have an autopilot system, so the guy himself will control it for the rest of the flight in order to safely deliver Aaron to Mars. The girl asks her silent questions, to which the guy replies that he has really never been in space, but has gone through many years of training. He leaves saying that in any case, Aaron does not need to stay here, she can rest, and when they arrive on Mars, he will let her know. Aaron remains standing like a pillar. She is in shock and asks if there is anything at all that this guy cannot do, except for the creation of life. And where in the world could her grandfather find such a divine person? Meanwhile, the dead and frozen mother monsters are floating in outer space. Alston appears in space and tells someone that he already helped them by sending the asteroid directly into the ship, but he is not responsible for everything that happens next. Some electronic device tells Alston that he has fulfilled their agreement, so he will be sent 1 million artificially created awakening potions as payment to help create an army of awakened ones. Alston thanks, but warns that if they do not fulfill their part of the deal, then destruction awaits them. The head of the Ark is heading straight into the sun at rapid speed, causing huge solar waves. 3 days later, after passing through the wormhole, Avalon arrives at the Mars space station. People from this station arrive on the ship to meet Lady Aaron in person. Alex says he delivered the girl safely as promised. He did everything he had to do. Now Aaron is responsible for developing the AI of the shadow world. The girl promises to devote herself entirely to this matter, and then together they will definitely find a way to carry out the final raid on the world of shadows. Lady Aaron shakes hands with Foster. They say goodbye. The squad from the Martian station is waiting. Charlotte is delighted that today she witnessed the greatest moment in human history. The squad's mission completed, Kepler asks what they will do next. Alex reports that for completing the mission, they were given a VIP class on the way back to Earth with unlimited access to all entertainment. So now it's time for the party. Foster and Charlotte are happy. But Michael is a little unhinged. Elizabeth looks out the window and thinks about her sister. She is glad that she was finally able to find comrades whom she can trust. She would really like her sister to meet them too. She is pulled out of her sad thoughts by Charlotte, who hurries the girl. 10 days after flying into space, Foster stands in the bathroom brushing his teeth. A message comes to his phone from Aaron, which says that according to AI calculations, the first world of shadows, which will absorb the entire city, will appear in their world in a week. It is not yet known where this will happen. Alex is shocked. He knew that the world of shadows would begin to consume the world, but he did not think that it would happen so soon. As everyone knows, since the emergence of the Shadow Gate, many awakened ones have appeared who are forced to explore the world in order to become stronger. Accordingly, the world of shadows will also invade the real world. To be more precise, monsters from there will quickly break out into the ordinary world through the gates, bringing serious destruction to Earth. The main character understands that he needs to increase his level as soon as possible. He looks at his characteristics, which have improved slightly, while he understands that the enemies they will face will be much more dangerous. Alex needs to obtain a treasure that will significantly increase his defense, providing the greatest chance of survival. Foster chooses the world of shadows to which he and his squad will go. President Anya's car arrives at the gates of the world of shadows. There are a lot of awakened people around. The girl gets out of the car, then wakes up the guy who fell asleep on the way. The awakened recognize this legendary womanizer. They heard about his date with Clark. But now Foster has come here with a business lady to go on a mission. Alex doesn't understand why everyone is staring at him so much. The girl says that it's because of her presence. For the sake of this mission, she even had to cancel several important meetings. Some man notices that he heard somewhere that Anya and Alex managed to survive in the C-rank world of ice and fire. He concludes that since this guy is useless, then the girl must be simply incredible. But he does not understand why they came on a D-rank mission. The gates to the world of shadows open, and all the awakened ones head towards them. Anya thinks that Alex was bored going alone into the world of shadows of D-rank, but she doesn't understand why he called her. The guy asks her to calm down, since the end of the world could come at any moment. Foster says he decided to take Anya because she worked hard, and he thought he could take her so she could blow off some steam. The awakened find themselves in a world of shadows called Alien Ruins. Random heroes wonder what this place is. The difficulty here is low, but the storm scares one of them. All they have to do is reach the ship located in the north and survive until the afternoon, after which the boss of this world will die from the scorching afternoon sun, so it's time for them to get out before the storm buries them alive. Multiple heroes scatter in different directions to avoid becoming victims of the sand. Anya wonders if she and Alex will follow them. He says that, of course not, because he is looking for something here. Foster tells her to grab a shovel so she can get to work, and she asks if he really brought her here to dig sand for him. He says that he needs to calculate the location of the object, so he will have to leave physical labor to her. For her help, he promises the girl an A-rank potion, the heart of the King of the Fist. The girl looks incredibly shocked. She doesn't understand how the guy knew that she was looking for just such a potion, how he could again put her in such a difficult position. He looks at the map and says that the next point is 100 meters away at 10 o'clock. Anya says that he is a sick bastard who treats her like mere labor. Alex tells her to stop complaining. He thinks things through and she does the physical work. They both work hard. She calls him a brat, that she didn't spend so much time and money on developing her body and gym equipment to dig here for him. A lot of robot zombies gather around the girl. Initially, this place was a technologically advanced world, but after the Great War it turned into a barren piece of land. These monsters were local residents, but they mutated. Anya says that monsters are surrounding her and there are more and more of them. Should she move to another point? He tells her to continue digging, and he will deal with these enemies with his own hands. A ship arrives and shoots many zombies within the range of the guns, leaving them no chance. She says that he even prepared all these ridiculous devices. At the moment, she is really ready to believe that he came from the future. Alex tells the girl to concentrate on digging and not waste energy on talking. Let her go to the next point for 4 hours, 500 meters. Anya, known as the Heartless Queen Tycoon, calls the guy a heartless bastard. All he does is exploit her. How much longer will he force her to dig? She is displeasedly interested in why the sick pervert does not answer her questions. Then he finds himself behind her and says that she called him so sweetly. Did she really miss her? Taken by surprise, the girl asks, who would miss such a pervert anyway? Why didn't he just answer her now? She thought something happened to him. He says that there's nothing wrong with it. He just went to take a leak. He apologizes for making her dig for so long. He really appreciates her help. Now they can move on to the next step. The girl asks what they should do next, but he says that the enemies are approaching. Why did his ship bring zombies here? The girl is furious and asks why they are here. Is he crazy, or has he forgotten his brains at home? The drone takes off sharply and burns out a huge army of zombies that were approaching them. Here, the hull of a large spaceship appears from under the sand. The girl doesn't believe her eyes. She asks if Alex knew that a ship was hidden here, but he says that he just asked her to dig it up to find out the exact location. A human face begins to emerge in the storm. Alex says that the boss of the shadow world will soon be here. It's starting to get dangerous here. It's time for them to go down. Anya begins to sweat and panic. She does not understand what to do because there is no entrance anywhere in sight. The main character releases a small ball from his hand and tells the girl to look at her feet. A large turquoise portal appears under the team's feet, which sucks the characters into it. After the fall, the girl lands right on top of Alex. He asks how long she's going to sit like that. When the girl realizes her position, she blushes deeply and quickly gets off. Anya asks what they are looking for here, and the guy says that they are here for a set of armor, a level X combat suit. Alex reveals that as far as he knows, there are 3 types of worlds: infinite, repeating, and the last hidden one, which only appears once. This world has a limited number of appearances. The ruins they are in now can only appear 3 times. They have already appeared twice. This time will be the last. This brutal war began a long time ago, a war between humanity and artificial intelligence. People who could not resist the machines created a new generation combat suit in the hope of defeating artificial intelligence. But it was shot down during delivery. Unable to win, people had no choice but to detonate a nuclear warhead, destroying everything around them. Therefore, who knows how long this suit lay in this deserted sea? Alex ends his story by saying that they have arrived at the place. A black cube levitates in front of them. Anya says that it does not look like a combat suit. Alex replies that it is his defense system. He reports that the system can only be deactivated by knowing the sequence of collecting the cube. Foster deactivates the cube. The ship begins to crumble into black squares. The squares assemble into a suit. Anya realizes that this entire ship was part of a combat suit. Received SSS rank, suit, brave, fully adapted, is a transformer, created with the best technology of the ruins. Equipped with impenetrable protection, the 4 skills of the suit are not activated. Anya remarks that the suit is incredible. She wonders why the previous 2 expeditions were unable to activate it. Alex replies that the core will be needed to release the full power of the suit, and the core is in the boss of the shadow world. A sandy outline of an evil face appears. Foster says that the boss has come. The girl notices that the boss is very strong. followed by a sandstorm that consumes everything in its path. She believes that she needs to leave quickly. Alex, opening the digital screen, says that there is no need to escape. A bright ball appears. Foster says it's a core he borrowed from Apollo. It has energy equivalent to the sun, but it takes time to take effect. Anya understands that the guy left in order to arrange everything the way he needed. The awakened ones, who have escaped from the world of shadows, watch everything that happens through the screen. They do not understand why the sun rises at midnight. The sun absorbs the sandstorm, leaving only a yellow pyramid of the boss. Foster inserts this pyramid into a combat suit and then puts it on himself. Fighter Anya notices that Alex looks very cool in a suit. The main character crumbles his suit. He tells Anya that the core is about to explode. They need to leave before they fall under its blast wave. Foster needs to quickly return to the real world. There are a couple more things waiting for him there. Everything explodes. The last boss of the ruins is destroyed. The mission is completed. All users will be teleported back in a minute. A week later, the International Exhibition Center in a huge tower, the annual meeting in the medical field. Some girl tells Sarah Foster to calm down, even though she comes from a family of doctors. It took her a lot of effort to get 2 tickets to this meeting. Sarah, with stars in her eyes, says that for those planning to study medicine, going here is like a kind of pilgrimage. The girl tells Foster to watch quickly because her idol will be performing soon. Enter Bertha John Hopkins, head of the neurosurgery department at the hospital. She trained at Edinburgh Medical University. She is the scientific director of the Doomsday Dawn Project. 10 years ago, she was a leading figure in the world of medicine. Rog called her a genius girl with the hands of God. Sarah says that she wants to be just like her. This is her goddess. And her photo is on her phone screensaver. It's a pity that now you can't use electronic devices. The girl says that it is because F will also be present at the meeting. The media has never shown what he looks like, so this time filming was prohibited. And Foster says that he is so mysterious. An intercity train in K-City derailed, leaving hundreds of people seriously injured. Using artificial intelligence, he simultaneously operated on 74 students with severe injuries, but no one noticed his existence. He appeared in the world of medicine not so long ago, because he performs only the most complex operations. He is compared to a deity who never makes mistakes. But he does not consider medical practice his main profession. What a mysterious doctor. It is because of people like Dr. F that she is even more determined to study medicine. The girl says that Sarah's education is expensive, by the way. Her brother Alex is not busy and does not have an official job, so he will not be able to pay for her education. Foster says that he is trying very hard. But the second girl is interested in how much she can save at part-time jobs. Let her tell him to get a job as a security guard at her family's hospital. The job is stable, and the salary is quite good. Sarah says that she will ask him. But then Alex appears behind her and asks what she wants to ask him. The girl is shocked and does not understand why he is here. The second girl says hello and says that such a suit suits him. Has he really come to work as a servant at the event? He emotionlessly says no. The girl says that you shouldn't be embarrassed by part-time jobs, but they don't pay enough for them. She has a good offer for him. He says thank you and offers to discuss this later. He needs to go away and say a few words because he was asked to speak. Sarah says that his jokes are out of place because he knows how much she respects the profession of doctors, and this place is sacred to them. The second girl says that even her father has no right to speak here. Where is he going? The head doctor of Chang'an Hospital, Mark Saint, approaches and asks what Gloria Saint is talking about. The girl happily meets her father. She just wanted to introduce him to Sarah's older brother. They have a vacancy for a security guard at the hospital. Gloria's father, much to his daughter's surprise, falls to his knees in tears and rejoices that he has finally seen Mr. F in person. He shouts that if F had not taken over the operation of Cerberus from a high-ranking military man, they would not have managed it, and then their corporation would have come to an end. After all, they were looking for him to express their gratitude, since he quickly left after helping. Both girls are shocked by their father's address to Sarah Foster's older brother. They realize that Alex is Mr. F. The guy says that he is simply interested in special cases of illness. He doesn't care about the fate of the doctor's family, so there is no need for thanks. They paid for the operation, so they don't owe him anything else. And Sarah's idol, Bertha John Hopkins, addresses Alex only as Teacher F. She approaches the guy and blushing says that he is her idol, and she wants to become her student. She has already looked at the records of all his operations, how she could contact him. He says no way, because he is not interested in teaching anyone medicine. Dr. F is invited to the stage. He tells his sister that he will speak now and will explain everything to her when they return home. Berta falls to her knees in front of Sarah's stroller and asks for Alex's contact information. His sister finds herself in a very awkward position because her doctor is her idol. Gloria is very ashamed because she offered the doctor to work as a security guard for them. Alex stands on stage in front of the audience and says that he is honored to be here. He says that the organizer's last question was why he decided to study medicine. He was told that many people were interested in this. Foster says that he decided to study medicine in order to personally operate on his sister, and he has no other reasons. Then he turns to Sarah, thanks her for her care, and says that he loves her very much. All the spotlights are directed at the girl in the stroller. She blushes with shame. Alex walks down the street and reasons that once his sister goes through rehab exercises for her legs, he can perform the surgery. He was informed about today's event after 5 operations in a row, so he was already very tired. He takes out his phone, deciding to see what people have written to him over the past day. The first thing the guy sees is a message from Aaron, which was sent 24 hours ago. It says that the invasion site will be Tokyo, and this will happen within 24 hours. Alex understands that he has already missed that much. Foster hopes that there is still time left and quickly calls Jessica, but her number is unavailable. Alex runs past a huge screen where a crowd has already gathered and watches the latest news. The presenter reports that a gate of shadows has appeared in Tokyo. An innumerable number of monsters have already emerged from them. A huge panic has begun in Tokyo. This is the first invasion from the world of shadows. The guy clenches his fists. He understands that the destruction of the capital of Japan is inevitable, but he really hopes that Walsh will survive and wait for him. A correspondent based in Tokyo reports that the TV signal has been interrupted, so they continue to broadcast live from the phone. But it will probably not work for too long. A huge eagle carries a long train through the air in its paws and then drops it on people. The correspondents manage to escape. Now they are hiding behind the carriage. They continue their report, reporting that 100 evil spirits have come out of the gate. Legendary demons can be seen everywhere. A multi-headed black snake has settled on the Tokyo TV tower. The Great Raven Warrior is now in the skies over the Ginza area, setting houses on fire. A girl in a huge fluffy dress froze huge blocks. Automated troops are rushing from different parts of the country to Tokyo, and advanced units have already entered into a fierce battle with the evil spirits. The correspondent doubts that they will be able to save the world from disaster. The residents of Tokyo make their position clear by fleeing madly. While running across the bridge, people notice egg-headed zombies in the water who want to taste human flesh. They get out of the water and attack people. The troops, who arrive almost on time, shoot the monsters. The powerful 5th Squad of the Tokyo Cybernetic Resistance begins its work. They begin to look for survivors, the first to find a man who miraculously escaped from the zombies. But this man is already infected. His eyes and mouth glow green. He shoots a beam and kills the rescuer. Then the squad stumbles upon a reporter who has been infected by a tree with human faces. In order to kill him, they must use an incendiary shell. The tree with its roots destroys everything around, including a huge skyscraper, leaving only one girl from the squad. Realizing that she is finished, she kneels and thinks about her grandmother, whom she will never see again. Here, a tree with human faces is struck by a light explosion, and someone takes the girl by the hand. Jessica turns out to be the savior. She puts the girl on her broom, and the two of them fly away. Walsh brings the girl, upset by the death of her friends, to the roof of the building. The sorceress calms her down, saying that they will both still be able to meet their grandmothers. A girl from the squad, Carolina, asks where Jessica's grandmother lives, and she replies that she was lucky and went to New York for negotiations. Walsh looks at the red fireball and remembers her boss saying that something very dangerous will happen this year. She regrets that Alex is away now. Carolina is also sad that her boss is not around because he is strong and could save everyone. Jessica turns to the girl and remarks that it wouldn't hurt for them to save themselves first. They notice a huge spider girl under their building, crushing cars with her legs. Carolina notices that they are now in a place that is closest to the Shadow Gate. This is now the most dangerous zone of Tokyo. It is full of evil spirits that cannot be avoided. The girls do not understand how to get out. They fly on a broomstick again. Caroline explains that about 600 meters from them, there is an underground shelter. There they will wait for help, and someone's leader will save them. There is chaos in the city, a lot of lights. Some huge toad in beads is holding the captain by the head in the air. Her subordinates understand that it's all over. Everyone will die. The toad is about to eat the captain, but the girl manages to throw a grenade into the monster's mouth, and it explodes. The captain survives. Her subordinates understand that the girl deliberately allowed herself to be grabbed in order to throw a grenade into her mouth. Everyone asks Captain Green how she feels. The girl replies that her wounds will soon heal and everything will be fine. She says that they all need to get out of here together, but someone notices that they are surrounded by monsters and they won't be able to get out. Green gives the order to fight to the end, even if they all die here. Then Foster appears on a motorcycle. He shoots all the monsters at great speed. Then, he gets closer to the monsters and continues to shred them with various weapons. Green's subordinates notice that they don't know this guy, but they can already tell that he is very strong. Alex stops right next to Green and says that he has come to pick her up. Green believes that the guy is confusing her with someone and refuses help. Foster reports information that he knows about Dina Green. She is 25 years old. There is a mole on her left buttock. She beat up a guy in high school. 5 years ago, something happened that the girl keeps a big secret. The subordinates mistake Alex for their captain's boyfriend. They are shocked, as they have never heard such information. Green warns the guy that if he says another word, she will kill him. Foster, with a calm face, says that if Dina wants to save her partners, then she should get on a motorcycle. The girl asks how this guy knows so much. He says that now is not the time for explanations. Dina asks the main character how he managed to kill so many monsters. The guy replies that he also has his own secrets. A huge crowd of monsters runs after the motorcycle, screaming wildly. Alex blows up the monsters, informs Green that her partners are now safe. The girl is pleasantly surprised. She tells the guy that they have never met, and she doesn't understand how he can know so much about her. Foster replies that they survived together in the city of dark ruins, and Dina told him all these things herself. The girl decides that the guy is lying. The main character says that it is difficult to explain, but he can definitely say that they are comrades in arms in many parallel worlds. The guy knows that Dina never remains in debt. He asks the girl to help him find one person for saving her partners. Green gets down to business. Fortunately for the guy, although the entire internet in Tokyo has died, their encrypted system still continues to work. After a while, Dina finds information about Jessica. She is mentioned in the records of the Battle of the Fifth Squad. She saved the girl. Alex asks to find out her location. Green is sure that they went to an underground shelter. But it is not a fact that they are safe. A few minutes later, the location of Caroline and her savior appears on the map. They are still not far from the gate. Dina tells Alex that the whole of Tokyo is now divided into 3 zones, and they are in the zone of maximum danger. Alex asks what the division is based on. In the zone of maximum danger, there are the most evil warriors and the fewest evil generals. In the next zone, death, there are more evil generals, and occasionally you come across evil kings. There are about 10 evil kings in the Hell Zone, and maybe an even higher level monster. Foster warns the girl that if they meet the king level, they can now only escape. And if the legendary level appears, then Tokyo will be instantly wiped off the face of the earth. But the guy still invites the girl to cross the Hell Zone. She agrees and uses her screen to plot the route. Then Dina notices a chase. A motorcycle is being pursued by zombie samurai of the general level. Alex decides to speed up and tells the frightened girl to hold on to him tightly. One of the samurai destroys a high-rise building, overturning it directly onto a motorcycle, and the second throws cars at those escaping. Foster confidently dodges, but the zombie samurai catch up with the motorcycle. A building appears ahead. There is no passage. Alex shouts to the girl to hold on tight, and he lifts the motorcycle into the air and continues to move at the same speed up the wall of the building. Alex suggests splitting up. Dina jumps off the motorcycle, saying that she will now deal with one of the zombies. The guy manages to attach the girl with a long rope. As she is too impulsive, Green says that she is like that because she is very confident in herself. Dina uses celestial execution and kills the zombie samurai with one precise blow. She says that they have a good team, and besides, he knows her tricks, he says. Of course, the guy drags her on a cable up the wall. The second zombie samurai looks at them. Dina shouts for the guy to be extremely careful. They fly up to the top of the building with a loud roar of the engine. They find themselves on a bridge, which is already located on the territory of the death zone. Alex asks what he should be afraid of. Does she remember her favorite expression? It seems that it doesn't matter whether life or death awaits, but work must be done. The masked girl turns to Harris Knight. She asks if they are really going to enter the Hell Zone and go to the gate. He says that they have no choice. The man in black raises his staff. Pale blue energy is emitted from it. He says that he has slaughtered tens of thousands of people to practice necromancy. Under pressure from public opinion, Alston was forced to expel him from the Ark. In order to return to his command and become one of the 12 saints again, he is obliged to do so. The green entity behind him says that the necromancer is right. He only needs to enter the gates of hell, find the corpse of legendary level evil spirits and extract the soul from it. Then Mr. Alston will definitely return it back. A zombie samurai appears in front of them. Knight orders Warhammer to deal with it. Green swings his hammer with all his might and brings it over the samurai preparing to attack. He kills the enemy with one blow, and the girl in the mask calls him stupid, because if the body is damaged by more than 50%, then Harris will not be able to use it. Warhammer apologizes and says that killing is too fun. Knight notices another corpse and says that he will use it for his own purposes. Harris begins to use his power. His eyes beginning to glow a bright blue light and his face twisting into a strange grin. He orders his new servant to stand up. Warhammer says that Mr. Knight is worthy to be one of the 10,000 awakened mutants. After awakening, he received a special ability to control souls. In order to upgrade his ability, the gentleman destroyed at least 3 cities. It was not easy. You just need to go through the gates of hell into the world of monsters, and then the master will receive a soul of the legendary level. But the world of monsters is shrouded in inexhaustible miasma. Even a huge dragon will not last long there. Therefore, they definitely need an awakened one who can remove the miasma. The girl says that Jessica Walsh, although she is a sorceress of the 37th level, but she has a buff to cleanse poisons, and she is now in Tokyo, you just need to grab her and take her to the gates of hell. Then the master's plan will be successful. He says that the girl's awakened class is a ranger, so she must cope with her search. She says that her shadow searching ability shows that she is hiding in the hell zone. They will find her. They stand on the shoulder of a giant resurrected dark samurai. The search for Jessica has begun. An uncle and a boy are hiding behind a wall, and on the street 3-headed crows are eating people. The man says that he will take the boy to a safe place. The soldier tries to shoot the 3-eyed crows and shouts for them all to die. The crows knock the man to the ground and begin their vile meal. A man and a boy are noticed. They get up and begin to quickly run from their hiding place. The boy falls, the crows almost catch him, but the man protects him with his body, telling the boy to run and not look back. Green and Alex appear and quickly deal with the birds threatening people. They say that there is a shelter ahead. Let people run there. The boy says that the sky is still full of these terrible birds, they won't have time to get there. The man shouts that they are finished. They made such a noise that a whole flock of these birds flock to him. Alex says that this is not a problem. They will figure it out themselves and let him take the boy and leave. The guy presses the buttons on his bike. A lot of homing missiles fly out, destroying the birds in the sky. The girl says that even his motorcycle is creepy. Foster says that now he is in the second form, but if he enters the third, the form of an airship, it will become completely simple. The man says that this guy, God the boy, sincerely thanks the saviors and bows, and the shelter is already 2 steps away, along with the guards near him. The team leaves, and the man shouts after him that there is a temple ahead. It has been captured by demons. Several hundred regular army soldiers died there, and as they say, heaven itself helps a good man. Alex says that the fog is too thick, so the girl needs to get off the motorcycle since they will not go any further. The heroes climb the steps. The girl notices that it is a bit gloomy here. Drumming can be heard, and a strange figure in a mask and armor comes out of the fog. The girl does not understand whether it is a soldier from the army who attacked the demons, and Alex says that they are no longer people. The guy shoots into a crowd of former soldiers without the slightest doubt in his face. After the heroes have dealt with the enemies, Alex says that these are just dead people. To immobilize them, you just need to remove their mask. And you also need to cut them in half the old-fashioned way, just to be sure. And the battle continues. The team puts all the monsters on their shoulders. It turned out that there were quite a lot of them. But now, there is only silence in the temple. Alex feels a bullet flying at his ally. He takes out his sword and deflects it, saying that a sniper is working, they need to run. Dina suggests that these corpses, controlled by masks, seem to have retained the fighting abilities that they possessed during life. The guy says that this is good, because enemies with combat experience are easier to defeat. The guy tells the girl to close her eyes. She doesn't understand what he's going to do. A flash noise grenade falls at the hero's feet. They avoid the impact and begin to quickly run away from the crowd and approaching opponents. Alex tells the girl to run east, and many former soldiers are on her tail. When the sniper is about to shoot Dina, the guy quickly chops off the soldier's head. At this time, a crowd of monsters reaches the girl, and Dina fights them off with the help of her skills. Alex appears nearby on a motorcycle and tells her to sit down. The girl screams that the fog is still too thick, but he tells her not to be afraid. The guy says that he has already drawn a map of this area, so he can get out of here using automatic navigation. Dina asks who he is. He seems to be young. but he looks like someone who lived for 100 years and then returned from the future. Alex sets fire to all the enemies behind him, and the girl says, even though he is very mysterious, she is extremely calm to be his companion. He says that she is calming down too early, because they have not yet found the one who controls these creatures. Someone appears behind them and begins to destroy everything around. And the girl notices that, judging by the destructive power, they are being chased by someone who is at least at the level of a king. They cannot cope with him. Alex, with an indifferent and emotionless face, tells the girl to hold on to him tightly because he is accelerating. The girl screams that he is catching up with them. She does not understand what to do because they don't even know who it is. The monster jumps after the heroes from the bridge, but at the moment of landing it turns out that they are no longer there. The motorcycle releases some ropes from itself and binds Otokamaru. Alex catches the girl and tells the monster to save his strength, because when his motorcycle is in super gravity mode, the king monster cannot move it. The girl, blushing, asks if he can let her go from his arms already because she feels awkward. The guy says that he will borrow her sword, because an ordinary one would not withstand even one blow, but her spirit sword will withstand more than 500. The girl says that he obeys only her, and besides, this monster is too fast. Alex leaves and Dina shouts after him that even if the monster is tied up, he still can't handle it alone. The guy fights a king-level enemy completely on equal terms. The girl understands that Foster is successfully fighting a royal-level monster. He even calmly repels the enemy's attacks. Although no, he predicted all of Otokamaru's attacks. This guy has serious combat experience. Although he is not yet 20, he looks like a 100-year-old great master. But no matter how experienced he is only level 30. The difference in speed and strength between him and Otokamaru remains insurmountable. If this continues, he will die. She must help. And the monster is already preparing a laser strike from his eyes. The girl doesn't understand why the bitter rivals just stand and look at each other. Has Alex gone crazy? The monster tries to strike a series of blows at Alex, but misses, at the moment when the hero swings and strikes with high-frequency vibrating particles. The enemy falls into two parts and evaporates, leaving nothing at all behind. The girl says that Foster has completely lost his shame, fighting together with a motorcycle, and he says that the main thing is victory. For victory, Alex receives the C-rank Otokamaru sword. It is extremely sharp and can release a warlike spirit and has a super speed mode. Foster also receives Otokamaru's mask, which can quickly restore his body. Alex realizes that the high-frequency vibrating particles must be charged with each use, and he needs to prepare a new weapon. The girl takes the masks in her hands. The guy tells her to take it, since the mask's abilities are great for Dina. Foster notices that green is different from the others, because everyone would consider the mask disgusting and would not take it. Dina says that Alex is also an unusual guy. He reports that they are an ideal couple. They get on a motorcycle and rush to the Hell Zone, where they can find Jessica. The motorcycle enters the Hell Zone. The guy has a very concentrated face. He dreams that Walsh will wait for him. A lot of people have gathered in underground shelter number 21. Some kind of roar is heard. Everyone is afraid. Jessica and Caroline are also there. The girl is afraid, and little Walsh calms her down, explaining that a large monster just passed nearby. Carolina says that soon there will be nothing left of this zone, as well as of them. Jessica is sure that someone will soon come to save them. The girl is sure that no one will dare to go to the zone where monster kings are everywhere. Walsh says she has a feeling the trickster is coming, and this guy can work miracles. Harris Knight and his friends go to the shelter where Walsh is hiding. The masked girl sees the exact direction with the help of her staff. The head thanks the girl, since thanks to her they avoided the monster kings. But he asks not to waste too much energy now. This ability will still be useful to them to cope with bosses of the legendary level. A bunch of ordinary monsters are running towards them. The Warhammer asks to deal with them, but Harris says that there is no need. Knight summons dark spirits that easily defeat monsters. A monster king appears, looking like a huge rat in a suit. Harris decides that his soul is perfect for entering the gates of hell. The dark spirits very quickly capture the soul of the monster king. Now he follows them. Now they go in search of Jessica. If she refuses to help them, they will simply kill her. After a while, Harris and his friends break into the shelter, breaking down the walls and scaring all the people crazy. Knight does not see the sorceress among the people. The masked girl says that her prediction technique could not have been mistaken. Warhammer notices the guarding eye and tells its leader that the girl is very sneaky, and as soon as the eye noticed them approaching, she ran away. The embittered knight orders the hammer to destroy all the people here, and he happily goes to carry out the order. People try to resist, but it's all in vain. The hammer quickly gets the job done. The girl in the mask apologizes to the boss for her inattention. Jessica and Caroline fly on a broom. At some point, the girl throws the girl off, shouting at her to hide there. Walsh realizes that she is the target of those monsters, and they need to split up so that they both don't get caught. Carolina says that this necromancer has massacred many cities. He is worse than the monster kings, and a girl cannot cope with him alone. The sorceress quickly flies away, asking the girl not to worry about her. The girl stops at an abandoned metro station. She tries to calm down. She needs to hold out until the deceiver arrives. She decides to first install an invisible guard, but then monsters appear from the shadows. Harris and his team come out after the monsters. The man tells the girl that she is very smart, and if she wants to survive, there is no need to resist. Jessica, with tears in her eyes, asks not to offend her. Otherwise, her boss will take revenge on them. Harris says that he will not harm her, since she will be very useful to her. And if she is obedient, she will even protect the girl. They will go to the gates of hell together. The sorceress calls him crazy. Everyone stays away from the gate, but this madman wants to enter it. Knight says that he needs the poison purification buff, so Walsh has no choice. She has nothing to count on the boss. He was coming here, but he has a lot of problems along the way. The girl gets very angry and asks what these people did to Foster. The masked girl replies that to carry out the plan, she used a prediction technique to improve his fate a little. Soon he will meet a monster king, and, finding himself in a hopeless situation, he will die. The whole squad, along with Jessica, head to the gates of hell. The girl thinks about Foster. She hopes that he will survive. Alex and Dina rush at full speed. At some point they suddenly break, as a king-level monster appears in the air. Here Foster notices 3 more monsters of the same level. Now they have nowhere to retreat. Green cannot believe that this could happen. She understands that they are trapped. The monsters were attracted by a buff similar to the Eye of the Curse. The girl says that they are incredibly strong. They will finish them off in a second. This time they are definitely doomed. Alex reassures the girl, saying that he is not so easy to kill. Alex reads some kind of spell, and multicolored glows appear around him. The Eye of the Curse manifests and then explodes, now destroyed. Green cannot understand how Foster was able to get rid of the terrible curse by combining only basic skills. The guy grabs the girl by the hand and they run away. Alex answers the question, saying that he has been removing curses like this for 30 years, and now they need to hide. Monsters begin to look for them, some from the air, some on the ground. The ice girl reports that hiding is useless. Dina notices that they won't be able to hide for long. Alex says that he understands everything, and he just needs to buy time. Foster starts playing a musical instrument. The girl says that she doesn't hear anything. The guy explains that only one person can hear this music. Green is not sure that the assistant whom Foster calls is now in Tokyo, especially now that all that remains of it are ruins. Alex says that everything will work out. The monsters continue their search. The huge cat has smelled the enemies. He is already looking out the window of the building where the young people are hiding. When all the monsters are ready to break into the building, the legendary sword demon Chris Wright appears and pushes the monsters away from the building. Dina says that Chris was in hibernation and was on life support in an underground base. Having been seriously injured, he can only wake up for 10 days a year. Wright is also one of the top awakened ones in Japan. Dina does not understand how Alex was able to summon him. Chris tells the girl not to be afraid. Fortunately, he has 3 more minutes left this year and he can get the young people out of here. A monster in a mask and with wings orders the others to destroy all these people. They rush to attack. Chris very quickly deals with the monsters, blowing up everything around. Alex and Dina escape at this moment. Green says that it's too much to use Wright and run away, and she's also afraid that Chris will reveal their deception and kill them. A few seconds later, Wright appears right in front of the motorcycle. He is very angry that these people dared to use a special summoning technique that only his sister can use. Alex, with a straight face, tells Chris to return to base as his time is running out. Wright believes that this is just enough time to kill the liars 100 times. Then Jessica notices 2 monsters in the air, rapidly approaching them. She calls out to Foster. Alex tries to explain to Chris that the guy has a special connection with him because Wright's sister trusts him, and he only used him because there was no other choice. Foster warns that if he dies, Chris will never be able to find his sister, and if he survives, she will return to him. The guy asks Wright to kill these 2 kings, then he will definitely fulfill his promise. Chris immediately takes off and kills the monsters very quickly, furiously. He looks at Alex and Dina leaving from the air. He decides to trust the guy this time. Wright returns to his capsule and thinks that if Foster deceives him, then Chris will find him in a year, even get him out of the ground. The motorcycle rushes along the highway. Dina is shocked that Alex knows the younger sister of the sword demon. The guy replies that he doesn't know his sister, and Chris himself gave him the flute when they met in the city of dark ruins during long rebirths. And when he returned to the real world, then out of boredom I made a copy for myself. The girl was not impressed by the story. She had already begun to believe that Foster was a demon. Alex notices that it was no coincidence that they were cursed. He realizes that Walsh and the others are in danger. He tells the girl to get ready. The real fight is about to start. They arrive at the shelter where they find many corpses. Dina is shocked by the cruelty of the killers. Foster notices that neither Jessica nor Caroline are among the corpses. He decides that everything is fine with them. The guy notices the sorceress's eye. He thinks that the sorceress left them a signal. He activates the magic of manifestation. A bunch of pictures appear before his eyes, where you can see what has happened to the girl recently. Dina, with tears in her eyes, concludes that Caroline is safe. But Alex's friend has been kidnapped by Harris Knight. Foster doesn't know who he is. The girl says that he is a notorious necromancer. He used to be a Capricorn among the 12 saints in the Ark Alliance, but Alston expelled him for slaughtering an entire city. Dinah also talks about his subordinates. The master fortune teller and the warrior with a warhammer should not be underestimated either. They are both powerful, awakened mid-level ones. Alex understands that he cannot be allowed to take Jessica through the gates of hell. Monsters of a legendary level live there. Going there is certain death. And if this Harris wants to die, then the girl will not join him. Dina realizes that they are not strong enough to defeat him. Foster says that they have no choice, they must do it. Harris, with his friends and Jessica, quickly makes their way through the monsters to the gate. Jessica wonders if everything is okay with Alex. In the staff, she sees him safe and sound. The girl in the mask notices that her curse was lifted and reflected. She is shocked that this young man was able to use the Demon King to retaliate. The girl was glad that her boss was alive. Meanwhile, the squad approached close to the gates of hell. The monsters try to block their path, but Harris orders the shadows to kill anyone who gets in the way. 4 demons appear here and have powers superior to those of the squad. Harris realizes that this is not a curse, since he sees their souls. These 4 demon kings are just an illusion. He orders an immediate retreat. Otherwise, they will be killed by their own attacks. The girl in the mask notices that an illusionist of at least an average level is capable of this. This is a rare class. There are only 3 of them in the whole world, and there is no way they could end up in Tokyo. Night is about to get out, but suddenly everyone notices mid-level magicians on the roof. Harris notices that there are more than 100 of them, and all of them have no souls. They are just puppets. The demon does not understand who can control the puppets of the awakened of all classes. Dina and Alex are standing on the roof. The girl asks the guy how he was able to summon so many awakened ones, because he is clearly not a summoner. The girl says that she passed the test of the Sage's Tower, where she received a summoning sign. It allows you to summon people of all clans once, but their strength is at the initial level of awakened ones. Green makes the assumption that Foster is a secret class holder who single-handedly possesses limited user skills and badges, and she also knows that only by raising the badge level by 1 can one summon so many mid-level awakened ones. Alex says that the girl is quite smart, and now is the time to attack. He raises the badge and orders her to attack. From all sides, the squad is attacked by a variety of awakened ones, some with weapons, some with a bow, some with magic. The warrior with the hammer does not understand how awakened mid-level puppets can bring them to such a state. The masked girl says that this is because the person controlling them is too strong. He combines their classes as efficiently as possible, which increases their combat power by 5 times. At the height of the battle, Alex is near Jessica, grabs her, says that they need to run. She is glad that he finally appeared. Warhammer notices them. He tells them that they won't escape so easily, and uses the Thunderhammer's instant kill technique. The hammer comes down with such force that it destroys everything, causing a huge explosion. Dina believes that the guy has gone mad. He has gone crazy to save his comrade. He will not survive the fatal blow of an awakened level 70. The smoke from the explosion clears to reveal Alex in the legendary costume, followed by a little girl. Dina knows that after activating this suit, she can protect herself from a fatal blow. Harris is glad that Foster has finally come. He laughs and raises his staff. Wright strengthens his spirits. They step on the guy and the girl. The demon orders them to give up their souls. Green realizes that they are trapped by the enemy. She is afraid that this time they will not be able to escape. Harris orders the spirits to kill everyone except the girl. He still needs her. The battle begins. Foster easily repels the attacks of huge, strong spirits. Jessica regrets that she ruined her boss. She tells him that he should not have come to save her. Foster says that if she is ashamed, then later she can repay him by becoming a devoted tool. Dina asks what they should do, because there are too many enemies here, they will kill them. Alex says that there is only one thing left to do: take a risk. Maria Sparks appears behind the masked girl, shocking her enemies. She breaks the staff, through which the girl could foresee. All the spirits begin to disappear. All attention is drawn to Maria. Dina asks who it is that has appeared. Sparks, with a confident face, reports that no one dares harm her comrade. Maria approaches Jessica and asks if she is okay. The girl replies that yes, she was saved by a deceiver. Foster notices that Maria is truly his patron goddess. She always appears when needed. Maria asks the guy to reduce his flattery. Dina did not expect that Noble Sparks would attack from behind to save the guy. Maria points to the girl and asks Alex who she is. The guy introduces Green as a friend in arms. Green is unhappy that before this the guy called her Candy, and now she has become just a friend in arms. Harris addresses the insolent people who dared to kill his subordinates. He promises to bury them next to them. He uses his staff to summon a skeleton and orders him to kill everyone here. The giant skeleton rushes to attack. Dina reports that it consists of the resentment of the people whom Wright once killed, and even the sword of a high-level awakened cannot stop it. The monster turns out to be close to the guy. Maria shouts to him that there is no need to hide. It's time to use his trump card. Alex notices that the girl knows him very well. He takes out a dragon shadow from his glove. Everything begins to burn. A huge black dragon with many heads appears and immediately rushes at the warrior with a hammer. Dina realizes that the guy sacrificed 100 mid-level awakened puppets in order to use the unusual ability of one of them to move in space, forcibly transferring here a multi-headed dragon from the Tokyo Tower. Maria asks the guy if he is confident in his abilities, if he can control the dragon. Harris is shocked that this scoundrel used the Eye of the Curse to force the Demon King to attack them. He does not understand when this guy managed to pull all this off. Alex points the huge snake at the skeleton, saying that this is his last target. The dragon releases fire and then rushes at the giant skeleton, but he is sure that he can easily kill the Demon King. The battle begins. Dina sees that the skeleton is superior in strength to the dragon and invites everyone to take the opportunity to escape. The skeleton uses its final blast. Everything goes up in flames. Several of the dragon's heads are burned. Harris understands that the dragon will not die as long as there is at least one head. The rest will regenerate. But he will not give him such an opportunity. The regeneration speed of the giant skeleton is 10 times higher. The giant skeleton is already half restored. Alex runs towards him with 2 swords in his hands. Wright notices that the guy is too far away. He won't have time to reach it. Everything will be over. Alex uses the Otokamaru blade, which increases his speed tenfold. The skeleton asks Wright to protect him, but he does not have time to do anything. Foster breaks him. Wright falls, managing to tell the guy that they will see each other again, and then he will take revenge. The guy believes that they will not see each other, since he knows that Wright can parasitize in a shadow beast and with half a soul, and then come to life when conditions become favorable. Thanks to this, Harris has already avoided 3 deaths. Foster says that this time the rebirths will end. He is going to take over his innate ability and take away all the shadow beasts. Alex gains a special absorption ability that allows him to take away the innate abilities of those who are dying or unable to resist. He also receives Harris's only ability as an awakened person of the highest level to control shadows. It allows him to extract a shadow from the dead, turning it into his own. Having taken the ability, the guy also received 1 shadow of the beast. He invites her to go finish this fight. Foster approaches the corpse of the peak-level Demon King and causes his soul to awaken. Target level too high, extraction failed. Alex tries again and receives the same message. Alex concentrates and tries to awaken the 8-headed dragon once again. The Demon King awakens. All his heads are on fire. His eyes glow red. Dina notices that this guy inspires fear in her. He copes with all the enemies one by one. Everything goes strictly according to his plan. He is invincible. Jessica, with glowing eyes, tells the girl that the deceiver is the most unusual strongman. You just have to get used to it. The girl sees a helicopter in the air and waves to it. Alex informs everyone that they are now flying away from the city. The 5 of them are sitting in a helicopter. Caroline looks at Alex, Maria, and Jessica and says that they look like a family. Sparks laughs it off, saying that no one would want to have children with him. Caroline asks how Jessica is feeling, but she is already asleep on Maria's lap. 3 people in black cloaks are standing in front of a huge door. One of them doesn't understand what's going on. Alston has been locked up for days. Has some important event really happened that will change the world? Alston is sad about Wright's death. He considers him his most loyal subordinate. He knows what Harris was going to do to return to the ranks. A cruel demon promises to make his enemies pay with death. He understands that the culprit is Foster, a demon who is going to first win his favor and take advantage of him to the maximum, and then bury him. Alston opens the door and orders his 3 subordinates to bring Foster to him. He is going to do everything to raise him as his successor. In the toilet of a supermarket on some island, Alex is talking on the phone, saying that he is very grateful that Mr. Alston showed him attention. Some 2 guys who overheard the conversation decide that he is a deceiver or a pretender. Who is he anyway? Since the leader of the ARC appreciated him. Alex says that he will definitely come himself when he is ready to fight with him on an equal basis. He is asked to wait a minute. The guys from the toilet think that this deceiver has a good imagination. He acted out a scene of refusing Alston right in the toilet. A hologram of Alston appears in front of Foster. He says that he will wait for him and believes that it will not take much time. Alex agrees. The leader of the ARC hands him a fist. The guy repels it with a smile. The guys were shocked by Alston's appearance in the toilet. One even wet his pants. Foster did not expect that the demon would begin to get closer so quickly. The guy understands that if he fails to subdue him, he will soon attack. Now the guy's priority is to make everyone stronger. He needs everyone to upgrade to an average level. Alex walks around the supermarket with Charlotte and Michael. The boy asks the boss if he really refused Alston. The guy confirms. Kepler says that he would never refuse a meeting with this man. Charlotte punches the boy hard in the head, calling him a shameless brat who wants to betray his boss. Kepler says he's just jealous that Alex has this opportunity. Foster says that they need to stock up heavily because for the first time they will have lunch together in the real world. Michael asks if Maria will come because she had competitions in Europe. Alex reports that the girl is already flying to them. At a beautiful sunset, they return from the supermarket to their luxurious, huge cottage. Alex invites everyone to feel at home, settle in, and not be shy. Anya appears. She is not happy. Not only did they pay with her card, but they also showed up at her house to litter. Foster caustically remarks that the girl has many houses, and there is nothing wrong with the fact that they occupied one of them. Moreover, this entire island is hers, so there is no point in arguing about little things. Jessica, Patrick, and Michael are playing video games. Alex says that's enough. They'll be eating soon. Patrick asks to let him at least win the round. Michael apologizes, saying that the man is too weak. Jessica is angry that she is not allowed to take the place of the loser. Anya asks Alex to tell him why he gathered them all here on the island. The guy says that first he needs to wait for one more person. Maria comes into the cottage with a bottle of champagne. She apologizes for being late. Alex says she came and that's fine, then goes to the kitchen and asks Elizabeth to set the table. The whole squad sits at a luxurious table where there are many different national dishes. Charlotte invites Patrick to have another glass. He is happy because for the last few years young people have been drinking with him only to sell health products. Jessica plays rock, paper, scissors with Michael. The boy constantly loses. Having eaten, almost everyone falls asleep in the living room. Elizabeth washes the dishes. Walsh helps her. Maria went out onto the balcony and looked at the waves. Alex came out to her. The guy says that they need to talk. Sparks, blushing, says that she is not ready. Foster sees that the girl misunderstood him and says that he meant that they need to go to the world of shadows together, since everyone needs to raise their level to intermediate. Maria exhales and agrees with the guy without any problems. He wonders what she was thinking about, but she refuses to tell. Sparks says that she is already level 50th, but the others are just above 40. She asks if they can also reach the average level. Alex says he can do it easily. He wants everyone to get at least level 50th and change classes. Anya sneaks up and throws her hand over the guy. She says that as far as she knows, everyone levels up differently, so she's not sure that everyone will be able to change class in one world. Alex says that this is a special world, and there is only one entrance there. The girl approaches the guy even closer and says that if he succeeds, she will reward him. Maria drags Anya into the house, saying that she has had too much to drink and needs to sleep. But the girl claims that she will reward Alex anyway. Jessica, watching what is happening through the window, sighs and says that being a woman is scary. I wish she would never grow up. The entire squad rushes somewhere along the waves at high speed, breaking the sea waves. On the rock there is a large gate, about which the guy spoke. A large number of people crowded around it. Michael is surprised that there are so many people here. Anya says that she made inquiries. Everyone believes that this is a large and valuable shadow world, with more than 3 SS-level treasures inside. The team disembarks. The other awakened ones are extremely excited by their appearance in this place. They notice that even the goddess Sparks is here. How beautiful she is. even better than in the video. Thanks to her, the guild went through fire and water. One of the awakened ones is very jealous of Alex. He can be next to such a strong swordswoman. Michael notices that many strong awakened ones have gathered here, and Elizabeth draws attention to the presence of the big three light eaters here. One of the Assassins Guild asks Alex how people from his guild died on board the Avalon. Someone seems to be hiding this data. Alex says that since the assassins failed the mission and died, it means they weren't capable enough, so why ask? Patrick shouts that their dead comrades shouldn't have interfered with the members of his guild. If they really wanted to fight, then they should do it to the end. A member of the Light Eaters smiles sarcastically and invites them to go back to the world of shadows and have fun there. Just at this moment, the gate opens. Everyone is trying to get there as quickly as possible in order to seize the initiative.